Welcome everyone to this evening's episode of Tomes and Tales RPG. I am your not so humble dungeon master Cody, and with me are my victims. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome back to episode 3. As you can probably tell, it's a pajama episode. Mon made a joke in the GC, and now we're all in our pajamas, and it's good. I'm wearing a robe. I promise I have pants under this. Please don't get mad at me. Yeah. But yes.
Insight checks, everyone.
Shit, gee, I'm lying. With that, Liam, it's great to have you back. And we are going to jump into tonight's episode of Tomes and Tales.
Welcome to Tomes and Tales RPG.
Welcome back. So, returning to our group of misaligned party members, we begin on the morning following the brawl in the pit. We started with Zephyros and Zero, to which Zephyros told Zero that Gosrick had sent them to collect the White Widow from the Broken Knuckle and bring her home. Dardia, Hugel, and Voyage awoke from a long night of flashing magic lights and popping druid-craft flowers. The dwarven bookie from the night before, who introduced himself as Raydan, had sought the help of the party in locating the town's trappers, who hadn't returned from the previous expedition out of the town's limits, bargaining another night's rest and possible transport to Hunnenfries, which seemed to be a shared place our party all need to go to. You all set off out of town to locate the last known location of the missing persons. Voyage led the party, and eventually the group found markings leading to the path less traveled, which opened into a gigantic clearing where more than just animal trafficking seemed to be afoot. A destroyed, overturned cart and littered armor plates led the group to believe that the something that had happened to the trappers may also have happened to Yuri and Dardia's squad. Investigating further, Zero, through the aid of her magical pistol, was alerted to an attack on her person, at which a shambling mound rose hidden from sight and attacked the party. A lengthy battle was had, and the party saw the beast felled, at which digging through its corpse found the remains of Yuri and a note found also in a soldier's bag, which was hidden off the main path. A line was drawn that the soldiers had attempted to help the trappers, but were also killed as well. So we return now back to the tavern the following morning. The day is Diendas, which is the 17th day of Svarthran. If you would like me to spell it out, it's Diendahs, which is the 17th day of the month of Svarthran. I know Bailey is elbow deep in getting all this written down, so it's great. For me, a quiet trip back to Gutenlau was had, where the group had reconvened at the tavern and contacted Raydan. It was also made known that the party did not actually need a complete transport to Hunnenfries anymore, but simply just a cart, as Daria had made known that he still had access to the horses, which him and Yuri had come in on. And before the night ended, Zero was contacted by Valrus and was left reflecting on the task at hand that she had asked of her only remaining son. And now we return as the light dawns on another day of the day of your departure from Gutenlauer. So yes, the day is Diendas, the 17th day of Svarthran, and you guys all awake. And I'll give free range at this moment if anyone had anything particular they wanted to do. Probably being note that the elves would probably be the first ones to wake. You guys rest the shortest. Is there anything particular you guys do waking up first, or you kind of just wait for the rest of the group to awaken and go about the business?
Zero would just come out of the meditation, I guess, and get all of her gear ready and just sit on the edge of her bed and wait for Zeph to wake up.
Okay. And what about Dalia?
He's still a bit shell-shocked about losing his boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit mopey. Just kind of waltzing around. No, he's sad.
Sulking. I think sulking is the word. I think sulking is the word. Moping. That's the word we're looking for.
Yeah,
Alrighty. So I would say it's probably
I dance for my comrade. In honor.
like that insane dance. I feel like it'd probably be quite quiet for you two comparatively, like waiting for everyone else to awaken, I would assume. Okay. Well, I guess we'll open the floor to the rest of the group. What would you guys all do as you wake up?
I think when Zeph wakes up, they'll probably just give like a sort of good morning nod to Zero and then just organize through their belongings and clean anything that hasn't been cleaned yet since their last battle.
You sleep well?
As well as you can in a tavern.
Fair enough. Got a bit of a journey ahead of us.
Gotta make sure all my things are in check.
If you need a hand with anything, let me know.
Thank you. Same for you. And then I'll just continue getting my stuff together.
Okay. What about our other two boys, Voyage and Hugo?
Now the question is, am I snuggled up with Dog?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Why are you even doubting that?
So yeah, essentially you got Hugo just rolling over, cuddling around Dog, waking up, I imagine, to a bit of a yes. Isn't it?
Big slimy tongue.
I'm gonna have to take a little bit of getting used to that. Just a big scruff on his head as he wakes up. Come on, boy. Is Dog a boy or a girl or I'm sure.
That.
Just that.
An
it.
I haven't exactly flipped up the skirt to find out yet.
Picks up.
Dog's
Do a nature check.
Dog's pronouns are that dog.
I will work with that.
Dog's just dog. I think we've just accepted dog is just dog.
Just address dog in third person all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, wakes up, big scruff to Dog. So just gets up, probably brushes a few extra petals off that have gone bad overnight. Drew crafts a few extras to replace what's in his cow so everything's nice and fresh, and jumps out of bed. Way too good a morning mood compared to most.
Camera pan.
Best description I could describe for Voyage is he may appear very happy, but when he's on the cusp of waking up, he looks like he works a 9 to 5 with an extra 5 hours overtime, 6 days a week. That's why Dog's in your bed.
He works 25/8 a week. I feel that myself.
But eventually he does pull himself together, come out of like the zombie state. Oh, I'm human again. Or not. Kind of looks over, checks, hey, why has Dog got a pedal on his head? Oh wait, we've got a halfling now. That's okay. And then just start going about his business to get ready for the morning.
Lovely. Okay. So, in due time, everyone awakes. You're able to get your gear prepped. Everyone kind of gets their game plan within said group. Feel free to interject and add anything that you want to get done before you go. But unless anyone had anything key that they wanted to do leading into the morning, it probably, I would dare say, be the same routine of getting up, checking equipment. Regarding to those who feel like they have to wash their clothes from the engagement the day before, the tavern does have services available where you can take your clothes and wash them and have them dried out. So I could say that could probably be like the first bit of your morning, if you dare say. Because the morning, for those who wake up normally without the sense of like trancing like the elves do, your cue for waking up is when like animals and critters basically start chirping off, and you know that the nocturnal ones have gone and the day ones are about. So the waking up of animals is actually still considerably quite early. Like generally it's into like 6 or 7 in the morning ish. So you guys have a good while to be able to get your stuff ready, clean your clothes off the best you can, so you can still wear them in later hours. I'll say by the time you guys are able to leave your rooms and go downstairs to like get your breakfast, it's about 9 a.m. give or take. And this is probably the first time where the two, I guess, friend groups of our party cross paths again from the day before. So as you all come downstairs, there's maybe like 1 or 2 patrons floating around the tavern, but often their own like individual little areas. And you guys go back to the same table you were at the day before, and you all reconvene for the first time since yesterday. Some possibly looking a little bit more worse for wear comparatively to others. Not in the mechanical sense, just in the emotionally I am spent. I gotta get them points.
3 points is 3 points.
But yes, long table. Oh yes, like definitely make sure everyone's like long rested their characters and stuff. I don't think much happened for Dardia Liam, but just in case, make sure you've long rested him to make sure he's up to scratch.
Yeah, I did that before.
Excellent, thank
Oh,
you.
it doesn't get hit.
Yeah. What? Scathed? What are you planet you on, Bruss? But you guys all reconvene at the table, and unless anyone makes the first move, probably be a bit quiet, I dare say.
Daya is like, I'll say.
How did you guys get so clean?
We use the services.
You can wash your clothes.
Oh.
Son has only just cracked. You have plenty of time to do so. But be quick about it. We need to make the most of today. I assume we're going to be doing much traveling.
No, she'll be right.
Zero just looks back to Voyage. Now go clean your clothes.
Yes, Mom. And then you'll go.
So Voyage disappears up the stairs to go clean his clothes and possibly have a bath.
Take your dog with you! Stinks.
You get scowled at by this like grey drake and just waddles his fat ass right up the stairs. So disgusted.
Yeah, he's grey now because all the mud's dried.
Think like the marching of the elephants from the Jungle Book, where it's like he like hits chairs and stuff on the way. So it's like just finds the path of least resistance and then goes up the stairs. Eventually,
The dog is not immune to
Yeah.
my mamish charm.
no, not at all. And eventually, you are found by a dog, and I'd say like it's like while you're getting ready to like hop in the bath, the water's just been swapped out, and it's like when baby Joeys get into their mum's pouches and they go head first and roll. He just goes and he like rolls in and like the water spills out, and you see like just the top of like this like green drake's head, the red spikes. It's just like. Yeah, like he like dog's loving it, right? But you are able to have a bath and get yourself sorted. I would say maybe I'd say if full extent like having a bath and maybe like just giving your clothes like a quick like scrub over so they're not as bad, so you can actually wear them. I'll say it probably gets to about like 10, maybe 10, 15, 10-ish in the morning. Go 10, 10. Here we go. And as Voyage, you're basically like getting out of the bath, getting your clothes ready. The rest of you, while you're sitting at the table, I guess while Voyage was doing that, is anything happening at the table? Has anyone ordered breakfast? What's the game plan for you guys right now?
Zeph's gonna go up and get some breakfast ordered, but before they do that, they're just gonna ask for preferences, like anything that you prefer for breakfast.
Carbs, lots of carbs, please.
Carbs.
Diet.
Yep. Not very
Anything that
hungry.
grows.
Anything that grows. Perfect. Zeph's gonna exactly say that. Carbs, anything that grows, and some form of bacon.
Okay, cool. Let's go. I'll say
Is there
for
only one form of bacon?
Some form.
It's just bacon.
Loosely,
Never know
it's a
when the,
tavern. They
in the
don't
restaurant
know.
might have a few different types of
Some form of bacon could be a human.
It's like the back.
In these parts, you do not know.
Get the potato peeler. Alright, Hank.
Bro.
Back your eyes.
can you mark off 8 silver pieces? We'll say instead of getting individual meals, you basically got like picking bowls.
Yeah.
Because they only do food and drink here as like singular things here. It's kind of frustrating. So we'll say 8 silver pieces basically gets you enough to serve the table, and with enough for Voyage as well, and maybe Dog. You don't even know if Dog eats. It's kind of just just there.
He eats my flowers.
Yeah, I think that's habitual, my guy. But
Hugo will also go up to. It's a tavern we're in, right?
yes,
And buy a flask-sized thing of spirits.
sure, that'll be.
Doesn't need to be much.
I'll say for a flask size, I'll say. Let's go like one. What's half of a silver? Let's
5 copper.
yeah, do that. Thank God, I got another dungeon master at this table.
Don't ask me.
You got another dungeon master at this table. It's so good. I love that. And in due time, Voyage, you are able to descend and join the group if there isn't anything else you would like to do. And it's probably about 10:30, 10:45-ish, a bit later into the morning, where Raydan, the dwarven bookie, walks back in to the tavern wearing like the long, the tunic and then the scarves and all that sort of stuff. A bit rotund, and walks in and he goes, good morning, comrades. How'd you sleep?
You can sleep.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, sir.
You're a very chipper young man. I like it.
It's a beautiful day. It looks outside. Is it a beautiful day?
Make a perception check.
It's storming,
It's
trees
never a
falling
good
on
day.
houses, fires burning,
Plus
from the
3
a cow.
I realize I haven't had any of the audio play at all.
Oh yeah, 3D20.
It's a spiky boy.
That's fucking
Where's my
cool.
perception?
Yeah, John said the session. It's cool.
Yeah, 18.
18. All things considered, not too bad. Sky's still grey. I haven't seen the sun in God knows how long.
Since I've ever lived, probably.
Since I've been alive. But you look outside, and what for Miros weather, especially in an air shroud, it's tidy. It's like the sky's grey, but the wind's ever so light. Doesn't seem to look like there's going to be rain or anything. So it actually probably, for a day for you guys to kick off your travel, this is probably one of the better ones.
Perfect day for travel.
Yes.
Everyone has their preference, I guess.
And you find when Raydan sits at the table with you, he goes, now, luckily, I was able to, in fact, secure a cart. One of the farmers was not too upset with letting one of their, albeit it is smaller. It really only fits 2 people at a time. So if you are looking to travel, you'll have to take some shifts. But I think that still works out a lot better than all 5, technically 6, walking on foot. No? Lovely. Well, I have had them take it to the entrance of town, so you can unhitch whichever horse you intend to bring. You, my armored friend, considering your comrade didn't need his horse, I did mention to the farmers that the horse in trade, one of the horses in trade for the cart would be a fair trade, just to make sure they're not completely out.
So, блин. You took my friend's horse?
He's not going to need it.
That's my horse.
Actually, it's my dad's horse, but
Well, I assumed the horse that had less items on it was yours because you brought them in with you. I don't think a dead man's going to take his items with him, don't you think?
And Dari just sinks back down into his shell and he's okay. Do you think?
Okay. So, I just realized at that split second I have to actually retcon my own statement. Yuri's horse was killed because he took it to ride off. So technically that would go.
Didn't take
I
my
didn't take
friend's
that
horse.
I was thinking
God!
about that and I didn't put it in my own notes. I'm glad I picked that up now. So we can just cut that whole bit out. So, cart will be at the entrance of town whenever you are ready to go.
Yep.
It's basically just going to be sitting there. So, at this point in time, basically what Raydan is alluding to is you're free to leave at your own discretion. It's ready to go. So feel free to take care of whatever business you have to take care of leading up to your departure. But at this point in time, it's about 10:30, 10:45-ish in the morning, give or take. So if you want to make a good travel, sooner is better than later, but it's entirely up to you.
How many days was the travel again?
About 7 and a bit, and that's consistent. Like the gentleman that dropped you off took the path of least resistance, and at some instances, even from your memory, like without a history check, you know there were some bits where he booked it.
Yeah.
Like he wanted Audis 5,000 quick.
Yeah.
So there were some bits where he kind of gunned it, and it was a bit how you going, but you got there pretty decent.
Yeah.
On foot, you'll probably look, if you can keep your travel nice and concise, maybe about 8 days, 8.5, maybe 9 if something bad happens.
Yeah.
But 7, and with a horse doing with a cart rotating shifts, maybe about 7.5.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any earrings, loose ends they want to tie up?
Anyone need to stock up on, say, rations or anything like that before we go? It's going to be...
I believe that was part of our deal, that he'd give enough rations for the trip down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that those were in our cart.
You can assume as much as you like.
Right on!
Goes running
I
back.
never left.
I didn't see you there.
Like just like whole man scowl.
Are our supplies in the cart that we agreed on?
Oh yes. 7 days trail rations for a group. So obviously expending more than you're shared, you'll start to run a bit loose. Also be wary of animals. Looks down at dog.
Are there any-
He's stolen the bowl of bacon.
Like
Are there any trading posts or campsites along the road that are particularly worth either avoiding or aiming for?
not real trading posts, no. But if you've got supplies to last the trip, you can stop off at Sindrafen. Sindrafen's a town that's on the way. They are a lot smaller than us. They're more of like a small isolated village, but they trade. They have lumber and their own supplies that they bring in, and they fish and they hunt. So I dare say if you need supplies on the way, that would probably be your best bet. That's about 3 days, give or take. If you're going south, it'll be a left-hand adjacent path. You can't miss it. It's a nice little clearing.
So Hugh will take a minute and just talk to him with his map and kind of get him to point out roughly where on the map,
Yeah, definitely.
so he can mark it on this DIY map that he's been putting together.
And now, yep, so you have that marked off. And basically the way he explains it is the clearing itself is like you can see where like the path divots off and Sindrafen is down the left-hand way. And he basically explains it is a little bit, I say, out of the way, but it's the best place to stop so your flesh is supplied when you get into Hanifres as a proper city.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're most welcome. Is there anything else I can do for you before we part ways?
No, I think we are fine. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the help. I am dreadfully sorry about your first, well, not really yours, but your all first total interaction here being a bit of a messy one, but hopefully I don't think we'll see that group of people again. But if you ever find yourself back this way, please do stop in. It's lovely to have you.
You have an exciting town.
We try our best. That's what Daniel, my friends. And he hops off his little stool and goes about his business.
He's back.
Your breakfast is finished. Your cart is loaded with the trail rations. If you want to grab any extra little bits and bobs, you are able to do so. But unless anyone had anything immediately left to do, the day is yours, dear compatriots here in Collect.
Zero's gonna head straight for the cart. Wants to get a hustle on.
Just beelines it, heel boots clacking on the wooden floor as Zero marches out the door.
Are we like leaving right now?
Unless you have anything immediate you want to do, basically, yeah. You're getting into like midday, like 11-ish time now, so like you're into the midday. If you want to make good time, you would need to start moving.
Zeph's gonna follow in Zero's footsteps.
Yeah.
3 sets of clacking heels along the cobblestones as Voyage follows.
The most fabulous boots you've ever done, seen.
Oh, you best believe they're clean now too.
We love a Cuban heel on a green boy. I'm assuming our tank and our flower boy follow.
Oh yeah. Anywhere that dog's going, Hughl's following.
I can't wait for the day that Hugo rides dog into combat.
He just needs to get a little bit bigger.
Lovely. So you move down the street as you guys walk through. Gutenlayer as a town, you notice where some of the townsfolk are a bit more, not going to the midday, it's a bit busy now. Like people are doing their work they need to do. Millers are bringing the wood in. The cattle farmers are moving from paddock to paddock. You know, it's bustling. They're doing what they need to do to survive. And as you all move through the main strip of the township, you notice where people are taking a bit more of attention of you. You know, you've done them a service, and a town, even at a decent size that this is, people talk, and it travels very quickly. Considering you came back into the evening yesterday, and now a lot of people are looking at you like they kind of already know. I think I would be bold enough to say that next time you return, you'll probably be welcomed with a bit more hospitality for what you have done. And I won't even make you guys have to roll or anything for it. That's just something you pick up in the air. People want you to know that they know, and they appreciate what you did for the town, even though the results were grim, unfortunately. You get to the edge of the town where majority of you came in, and you see where the threshold of the town basically is like a solid cutoff. The cobblestone stops and it becomes a dirt path. The fences end, and it's almost like a very clear divide where the sound of the town behind you exists and the sound of the wilderness in front of you begins. You can feel where the light breeze brushes past you, you know, swaying your cloaks, and you know, some of the loose bits of Daria's armor clanks, giving like the only artificial sound in the landscape that is majority nature, critters, animals, the wind blowing, the giant oaks creaking in the wind. As you guys load up the cart and mount it to Daria's horse, everything's in there ready to go, and all that awaits for you guys is to take the first step for some of you, on your journey home. This is the point of no return. If there's anything you need to do, do it now. Because then we put on our big kid pants and we start keep on keeping on.
Big kid pants are on.
Who's sitting in the cart first?
That is for you to decide.
Shotgun.
I
I have little legs.
Well, the thing is, you could ride the horse. Like,
It's your horse.
That thing is carrying so much weight already.
it's a draft horse, dude. They're huge.
But then to have me sit on it, I feel bad. Like
They don't then.
Then put
I'm a
Hugo.
I'm nothing.
But I dare say, for you especially, you would know that horse is going to lead better if you lead it. That is your horse.
I'll walk with my I'm still salty.
I'm making this as a ruling too, because
I'm walk with my horse.
How quick does the horse move?
it's a what's it called? A canter, when they have a nice little walking pace. A canter.
Hugo's a bit slower than everyone else, so assuming we want to move quick, it's better to have Hugo either in the cart or on the horse.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we're moving at a slower pace, Hugo will be
I am gonna make it a rule, because it is Daria's horse that it was gifted to him by his father. You don't need to make animal handling checks when you walk it, but anyone else who takes shifts will have to. Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
Stay away.
I have spoken. I have the sleeves for it now. So
Zero's happy to walk for this portion of the journey.
cool. Everyone else, I think we're happy to walk.
Seth's happy to walk.
So Hugel's basically in the cart, kind of being like a inventory person and a lookout.
sleeping.
Like a whole bunch of flowers just appear and Hugel's underneath them.
Yeah.
Just flower child at the back of the cart instead of smoke.
God damn it.
I will say he's keeping an eye out for any like graveyards or anything like that constantly.
For sure. That can be something that we can do. But Daria leading his horse, you take the first step, and we are now on our way to Hunterface. Now, traveling through a landscape, it is not all hunky-dory skipping and tossing stones and, as Sky put it once, crop dusting fucking trees. I would like someone to roll a D100 and a D10, please.
Oh, I'll roll a D100.
The fuck? Oh, never mind.
D100 and a D10. Oh, no. Oh, what did you roll?
Is that a D100?
No, that's percentile.
I'm out.
I'm on 34.
I understand
Okay.
how that works.
So,
I'm learning.
from the midday where you left, going for your first day, it is uneventful. You are able. I watched your fuels go. You are able to move through, and luckily, it's because you're traveling a path that's so well known. It's very easy for you all to maintain this nice, consistent pace. Like the horses at a nice canter, and you guys just book along. You're all good. It's a nice, easy day to go. No worries at all. Now let me just. Yep. You move along the pathway, you know, the light wind is still blowing, sometimes with you, sometimes against you. You find it's this, the weather events as far as like where the wind patterns along is very random sometimes. Sometimes you feel like you're like pushing against it a little bit. Sometimes you feel like it's giving you a nice little boost, but you are able to push through and all is well. But it comes into the evening where you guys, I guess, how late do you think you guys would want to go?
Sundown.
Like right where the sun hits, or maybe a little bit into dark time to stop, to continue, sorry.
I kind of don't want my horse getting spooked by anything at night time.
So pretty much sun's
Soon
gone over
as it
the
starts to
horizon,
get
but there's
dark,
still
yeah.
some like light shining.
So
It's like that dusk light where it's like it glows a little
Sun's
bit.
gone,
I think
still
it,
see
you know,
light.
it's time to set up camp.
Yeah,
We've got to
exactly.
find somewhere to set up camp.
You still got to
Cool.
set up camp.
So we'll say it's basically like you try and egg on that movement right to the point where it's like, okay, it's darkness now, and like some of the light from the moonlight, and sometimes where the clouds break a little bit, you can see some starlight, which is obviously very rare, but it does happen. And you're like, okay, now it's time to stop.
I'd say Hugo would say as soon as the sky sort of starts shifting color into that sunset sort of feel,
Yeah.
start looking out for campsites.
Exactly. Yeah.
For sure. Make a investigation or nature. Either one of those.
17
Oh,
plus 6, I think it is. Oh no, my nature's terrible. That's right.
but you roll 17 on the die.
17 on the die.
Oh, a 17 on the die, easy. For you, it becomes a point. It's like, what's going to be the easiest way for us to move the cart off the road where we can comfortably stop, but still be okay to get back on the path and not get lost. And you find there is a nice little pocket because, you know, like with those big trees, they like pull the soil up, so it becomes very bumpy and wavy. But there's a nice little pocket between, like, I say, like 2.5 of these root stems, where it's a nice little. It's off the main strip, but it's just close enough that, you know, like when the light begins to shine again, you'll be able to find where you are, and you guys are able to posture up and set up camp. So I'll say it's probably like, man, that time of the day, going into like 6:30, maybe
about that.
6:30, about that, when like you guys finally set up and you're like sat down. What are we doing?
Zero's going to approach Daria.
Don't look at me like that.
Like what?
Like, pierce my soul.
Oh, you mean
Thank you. We only need 2 chance. Are you in a good enough headspace to do watch for half the night?
Yes. I am okay.
I'd like to roll an insight check to see if he is.
roll
indeed
deception?
okay.
Roll deception, Daria.
Oh wait. What am I rolling? D.
You're rolling, yeah, your D20 for your deception.
Oh, you can't lie for shit, bro.
I got advantage anyway, so I'm just gonna see if I can finesse it a bit more. Nah, that's alright. So that's
Let's just see if we
12,
crit.
17.
Yeah.
I rolled
What
2.
what does Zero see on your face?
Oh, some big sadness. He lost his boy. He's still coming to terms with it. Didn't even get to have a drink with him or say goodbye because everyone wanted to leave. Sorry. I'm okay. Yes, I can take watch. It's alright. I'll pat down my horsey. Davai, you go rest and sleep.
Are you sure?
I'm an elf. I can meditate.
I know you can meditate, but it's when you're awake that I'm worried about. You don't seem like your head is in the game. Understandably so.
I am okay. I think I will be
Okay.
Mm.
You take first watch then.
okay.
Alright.
Good idea.
Okay.
I can't sleep.
Hugo will grab Voyage. Sure, go get some firewood.
Yeah. Quest time.
Dog stick.
And you just watch this long, scaly boy just disappear, and it's like it's creepy because like there's that immediate vicinity where it's like you guys can like kind of see each other in the immediate area, and then he just disappears into the darkness, comes back, and it's just a huge fucking log. like I'm talking like there's still dirt on the bottom where he's yanked out.
He just got a tree.
Yeah, it's like the top half is obviously busted from where like it's been hit by like a large creature of some sort, and it's broken off, but the other half is like rooted and dirty, and he's like
Firewood.
That'll work. Hugo can't even pick it up.
make a strength saving throw.
I imagine Hugo's just picking up little bits of kindling and sticks while Dog's dragging this giant thing along.
For sure. I'll say it's easy enough for Voyage. You can pull out your whittling dagger, and you kind of like, because it's a bit dry because it's been dying, you like wedge it in and like snap it. And with Hugo's trowel, you guys are able to like separate it into some decent chunks. And for the sake of it, immediately Dog being just a unit, and then Hugo getting the kindling. I'm not going to make you do a proper church in the middle of the woods for firewood. You guys are able to get yourself a nice little fire going. We've seen like Zero and Dario and Hugel and Voyage. What about Zeph? What's going through their head right now?
Well,
What's their game plan for camping?
they're like, what the fuck is this? They've never done anything like this.
Fire!
Yeah.
Throws a bucket of water on the campfire.
I got it! You're okay!
The wilderness will survive!
I'm helping!
Hugo, I'm doing it!
You're doing it, buddy!
Aaron's like, oh, fuck.
Why are you booing me? I'm right!
I was saying boo words. Anyway.
Well, they'll probably just observe what everyone else is doing and how they're just collectively and just naturally going about having their own things to do, like with the fire, just making sure watch is covered. And then they'll be like, I know what everyone needs. Food. And then they'll just go to the cart and get some drinks and some food and start handing it out to people.
Yeah, you got like your water skins, like your trail rations, there's like bits of bread, some cured meats, all that sort of stuff, and you're able to snack around. So in time, as everyone begins to sit down to like have dinner before watches start and rests start, Zephyrus hands out the small ration bags, and you find they're isolated into like individual bags, so like that's your meal portion. So you're able to like open up the little leather, and there's like all your bits in there, and you guys all sit down for a meal as you eat. Fire crackling. The only real sense of rhythm is like Dog laying down next to Voyage, and like their breathing is like very consistent, and it's actually quite rhythmic. It's quite nice. You know, the sound of like the fluttering of like owls and the cooing of owls in the distance, and like sometimes you hear like cicadas and like crickets and like those little critters hobbling around. It's quite calm. It's quite relaxing. But is there anything anyone wants to do before we go to bedtime, basically?
Hugo does some prayers.
Mhm.
Snuggles off in a little rucksack.
That bear trap was taken off Voyage, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Raydan claimed it for basically because it was the town's, they own it.
Before going off to bed, once everything's starting to settle down and
Yeah, like this one, like
Darlene over here.
the fire's starting to go down. Like it's becoming low light now, like getting ready for everyone to sleep. Yeah.
Forgetting my name, baby.
I'm never going to pronounce it right, so I'm just going to make it progressively worse.
That's called growth.
To follow up on the conversation that Voyage had pitched earlier, like the day prior after the body was, or the arm, or the thing was found, the thing
Yuri's
that goes
corpse.
there. Yep.
Because I have no fucking idea what's happening.
Well, when
I
it was found, Yuri
You were
was
about to be ripped
bits of
apart
his arm.
emotionally.
Flashbacks.
Prepare yourself.
Here, it's okay.
Voyage is basically just going to approach and be all like, how you holding up? Are you Are you sure you're alright?
Okay. Yeah, I'm still brushing my horse from like an hour ago.
I feel like
How
it's one of
long
those.
Did we talk?
That's probably about like 30 minutes ago, Gil.
Yeah,
Maybe
now
40
he's
minutes
still
ago.
just, like brushing his fucking.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like a person who doesn't want to confront real life at that current moment is immersing themselves in a senseless task.
Oh, I'm fucking traumatized. Like,
Oh yeah.
because it's like his first real like death, like close friendly death.
Yep.
And he was with him when his family and shit kicked off. So yeah, he's been his boy. So yeah. Oh, I'm okay.
He's not okay.
Just you
Side
sort of
note.
laying there, completely like almost just oblivious to feelings when it comes to death. We all die. We're all mortal. He's gonna be fine. As he rolls off the bed,
Don't-
completely oblivious to the real life situation that's going on.
Oh,
That's got Packer energy from Atlantis. I sleep in the nude. Like, tell me I'm wrong. You can't. Anyway.
Hugel is very unemotional about death. Like he's like, come on guys, we all die.
Probably seeing like a more vulnerable exchange. Zero understands that it's probably harder to become vulnerable in front of a group of people, so you just see Zero go, well, and she picks up
I'm
a
out.
drink and decides to go to bed to remove one less person from this conversation.
Zeph is like, side eye.
please don't go.
Just
Help me! I did not sign up for fucking therapy today, guys.
No, I'm too bad.
just
The
get-
queer's here and we've got you.
It's okay, honey. Let me plait your hair. It'll be fine.
Get the flowers, we need them.
Prancing
Listen,
with a harp.
Hugo was just like, doesn't get why you're also worried at all. Like, you're almost probably looking at him like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Dog, can you gestures to Hugel and just kind of taps Dahlia to just like, come on, look. Dahlia, Darren,
Daria.
Queen.
Darren.
I'm so fucking
We need to
sorry.
get over the hill. That Bailey's probably not going to get the name.
I'm
We need to get over that
dyslexic
hill
as
now.
shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna overthink it every time now, and then keep like that'll
Yeah.
drive you past the correct.
Call me whatever you want. It's fine.
Sweetheart, come on, let's go.
Did not expect that.
Hey, look.
Yeah, he kind of just like glazes over and does the same thing he did. Oh, I can't believe I just gave you shit about my name when I forgot your name.
Yeah, eat shit and die.
I should have worn my vest. I've got a patch with a raccoon that says that.
So yeah, I'm okay.
It's okay to mourn the loss of a loved one.
I know. He's taken it really bad because he's probably the only person in that entire situation where he could have done something. He was the healer. He could have helped,
Mm.
but he didn't. So he's feeling it a bit. But I'm okay. Yeah, he just puts on a smile and does his thing and goes back to brushing his horse. You need rest. Bye-bye.
Yeah, right. Voyager's gonna cave in. But he's also gonna be all like, dog.
Watch the big elf guy.
There's a solid. Hang on. Where's my D10?
The dog does not understand.
There's a solid 5 minutes where Dog's eye contact doesn't break, and then he just goes, and he's out. He's
Yeah.
out. So it's
You tried, Fred.
It's Daria sitting there like shield and sword, like chilled out, just a big clump of scaly Drake.
I'm.
Or would you
walking
be
around
patrolling?
I'm walking around the perimeter, bro. I ain't no fucking noob like these guys. Are
You know,
just
the
static
door-
in one spot. No,
Yeah.
I'm patrolling.
Your soldier training's coming in. Make a perception check
Oh shit.
as you wander around this evening.
I need to check my. Can you help me?
As you move around, the dry leaves
As I look
cracking
around?
under your weight. And I was saying it's just far away where he doesn't interrupt the party sleeping.
I got a 10. I don't really see much.
With a 10, you just hear sometimes an occasional fluttering of some winged creature flying off and some cicadas and stuff. Yeah, ours. And
That old joke.
other than that, just the slight clanking of your armor on your undershirt and stuff, and just the cracking of leaves under your feet. All seems well. And eventually, 4 hours pass without incident. Next up is Zero's watch.
Your turn, friend. Stop. Hey! It's okay. It's just tired. Wake up. My turn to sleep.
Yes,
Hmm.
you are.
Why do you have a gun?
Why do you not have a gun?
I have a sword. Is that actually a gun?
She's a gunslinger.
Oh shit. Okay.
It would be funny if
That
it
is
was
very tired. Very tired. Okay.
I'll stab your eyes out.
Yeah.
Cross me again, you dead
Bang!
man.
You are dead!
Oh. Oh, good times. Anyway. Your turn
Alright.
for what? Yes. Take your gun.
No worries, thank
Night,
you.
night.
Good night.
He meditates, but he does his thing. He just
I've-
sits cross-legged in the middle of
I feel for some reason for me it's like now the worst thing is when you are a character that wears like heavy armor, you have to take your armor off to actually get the benefits of a long night's rest. So it's like there's like a couple of minutes where it's like
Does it count if I'm meditating?
yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, fine.
But eventually, it's like you're able to. I think it's like. Forgive me wrong. I think it's like 10 minutes or something to like don and doff armor. I don't know. It's some weird bullshit. But we don't care. Anyway.
Sarah just standing there like,
He's pulling his cock out.
I was hoping no one would say it.
Pause.
Inspiration. Inspiration.
I already have it. Thank you very much.
Love it. But
Pause. I had no part in that.
excellent. But you're able to just slip your armor off and easily enough just slip into your trance and you're good to go.
Did I miss something from like last time? No.
No.
Alright, sweet.
Yes,
No,
you did.
That was
You
just
weren't
like a
here.
random thing? Or... Yeah.
Memes, bro. Anyway.
Gotta stop getting sick.
Zero takes her approach to watch much more differently than Daria. She simply sits with her back to the horse because if something approaches the horse, she would assume that it would
The horse gonna be
have a
off.
reaction of some kind. So she sits with her back to the horse
Mhm.
and she simply closes her eyes, both pistol, like elbows on her knees, both pistols in hands, waiting for it to ping off any warning. She closes her eyes and just simply listens for the next 4 hours.
It's just it's so cowboy. It just reminds me of all those old westerns I used to watch with my pop. Make a perception check, please.
Can do. It's a D20 on a D20 system scale.
Wrong game, G.
oh,
What'd you get?
I got a nat 1,
Oh,
so that's a 6.
With a 6,
Still on that one.
it's
I
a
was
lot.
gonna say, I feel
Yeah.
like that one.
That one is only a critical failure on attacks
Uh,
mechanically. I'm not that much of a
What a horrible
deal with.
DM rule.
We should just make it.
Yeah, like automatically.
Well,
I mean,
look,
no, we're all
everything.
sleeping.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, shut up, you two. Let him
Critical
give us the
fail.
benefit of the doubt.
Your eardrums.
What are you doing?
Chaos.
If it helps, when I run, obviously everyone's different, but when I run, I don't do them on skills either.
I don't do it. It's
Yeah,
just silly.
just do them on combat.
You find the difference for your observation comparatively is because you're not moving, there's no introduced sounds or senses that can possibly distract or dissuade. It's very quiet. The wind rushing past your ears sometimes can catch you off guard a little bit and you'll like twitch and one of your ears wiggle. I would think
I've got my pistol of warning anyways. If something's coming, I'm gonna know.
the thing is in the time for you it takes to watch and look over the party, nothing triggers. It is a quiet night and it is silent. But one thing that hits you a little bit is over the last 2 days you've possibly had more genuine interaction with people than you've had over the last couple of weeks, even months. And you find in the silence it's actually a bit disheartening. And the silence hits a little bit harder this time than what it did the months before. But we go in. Yes,
I'm so sorry.
go for it.
Could I spend a moment
Sure.
Uh,
I count on it.
I want to. I guess Zero would take note about how people rest. Like if they have restless sleep. Just sort of taking note about their sleeping habits, really. Just something she'd probably pay mind to, really.
Okay. What are you hoping to glean from it? Just so you can get a baseline of how people are normally?
Yes.
I would like everyone here to make just flat charisma. So D20, add your charisma modifier.
Can I just tell her that I'm not asleep and I know she's looking at me?
Well, trancing, you're still disassociated from real life.
I'm never fucking gonna get that again on charisma. I was 18.
Damn.
Wasted.
No,
GTA
no.
style.
Yeah.
Try it's like
8.
meditation in which I remain conscious, so I can hear everything around. I
But
guess.
she's not moving. You're not going to notice.
I feel her looking at me. Oh, I get a nat 20 anyway.
So anyone, what did you get?
8.
Okay, so anyone that rolled below 10 is probably, I would dare say, not normal. But the thing with observing people sleeping, it basically, you've got a good baseline now of where, I think for Hugel it's a bit odd because, like, Hugel's such like an animated little character. So it's a bit like, sometimes it's like this, sometimes he goes to a pose like this,
Absolutely.
sometimes he goes to do a pose like this, and like sometimes random flowers just go and pop out. Like this. It's this weird thing. Yeah.
I was wondering if I heard something. Or
Yeah.
it was my chair.
Right.
Because I went over it. I was like, what the fuck was that?
But it's like Hugel's low roll on charisma basically anticipates it's like this is not a normal base value for him if something would be bad, so it'd be a bit odd. What did you get? 5? Probably the same thing. Voyage is probably also a very animated sleeper. So getting the sense it's like, I can't tell if something's wrong or if this boy just likes to dance in his sleep. It's a bit odd. These two are like peas in a pod. They're exactly the same. But Dahlia and Zeph specifically are very still. They're very motionless to the sense where it's like, that would actually be a bit tricky to try and figure out because you can't tell if it's like where it's like you and they're very rigid in their sleep because they're always ready. It's a bit odd, but you've got a pretty good sense that you would know now if something was wrong.
Do any of you sleep talk?
I sleep think.
We all do. It's called dreaming.
Of note,
Dead
I'd
play.
like, I'd like
That's
to
fine.
interject that very specifically, Voyage doesn't sleep with Dog. Dog does his own thing.
Oh, Dog's still passed out away from you?
Yeah.
From where he was.
But he keeps a little rock,
Like a pebble?
like a sending stone on hand, just in case.
Did you say sending stone?
Walkie Rocky.
But like, it's like one of those things. He might be posed like he's doing the Macarena, but he's got a rock in his hand, so it's kind of always there.
Okay. Zeph would probably be an every now and then twitcher.
So I'll say
So
with
it's like a
Hugel,
junkie
as he's
sleeping.
gone to bed,
Yeah.
he has druidcraft with a lot of flowers and plants around him, so he almost looks like he's half blended into like a flower bed under the tree, almost like a little camouflage.
Up to his neck, like with his
Yeah.
shoulder.
It's not like all the flowers
When you're
around his
sleeping over your
cowl
friend's
and
place,
everything.
they don't give you a blanket.
It's like an old lady in a crash house, which is like,
Yeah.
covered in trash.
He was used to being out on the road and in nature, so that's kind of like a defensive thing, like almost camouflaging himself in amongst a pile of plants that he's druidcrafted before falling asleep.
Zero, can I get you to make a... What would that be? Just perception.
You need some
Move
new
your
dice.
die.
You could have done that. That's been
No,
in
it's
the
bad
whole
juju.
time.
Don't touch other people's die.
Should have asked me before you rolled. I'm not asleep.
Just in a meditative state.
Exactly. I'm aware of what's happening.
What'd you get?
It's like,
Nat 1. Yeah,
Okay, that's
close
fine.
to.
you fucking go.
That's okay.
I think you poisoned his dice.
Yeah.
I hope I did.
Is that
But-
the one I gave you? You're welcome.
Is that?
It's cool.
That's cool. ascending stone.
You don't notice that. No one
You're-
does.
No, I was
You're
just
too
looking
busy
at. No,
dodging
I was just
things.
looking at what the fuck it was, and that's really OP.
But the morning comes.
Yep.
Without incident. You guys are able to get full benefits of long rest. Not that obviously mechanically it really matters, but even with the fact that you are traveling, you feel pretty good. You know, everyone was able to find their own little nook and cranny and get comfortable, and you are able to awake. It's the animals. It's the animals that wake you up. Like, obviously, the sunlight cresting through the canopy is a bit tricky because they're so dense, but eventually it does go through the cloud cover, and the morning animals wake you up, and you're able to start on your second day. How do we want to approach the second day?
Daria's been up for ages, so it takes 4 hours to.
Oh, you're where you elves wake up naturally on a trance for
Yeah,
duh.
so that would have been a
We do
full
stuff
8
like
hours
that.
sleep.
Never
for
mind.
yeah,
everyone
where
else.
but the thing is,
Perfectly fair.
Yeah.
Where you-
mathematics is not my strong point.
where the elves would wake up for a trance, if you like going to sleep when you did at night, you waking up actually coincides when the animals start kicking off. So for you, it's seamless wake up. It's nice and easy, and obviously it's not 110% without like timekeeping utilities out in the wild. You're doing pretty well though.
Crack of dawn.
Basically, yeah. And when you guys awake, you're able to, we're not going to roleplay the whole thing. You guys are able to pack your camp up, and unless anyone had plans, you're able to start your next day.
I want to very specifically point out that Voyage will go out of his way to properly dismantle the fire pit.
Mhm.
Make sure it doesn't appear like it's been used recently.
Make a slight hand check.
We're being hunted.
No, what? Being hunted?
Yeah. That's something that people do when they're being followed and chased.
Or just a
15.
ranger being.
A ranger being a ranger, yeah. With a 15, easy. You're able, like, you kick up the fire itself, and it's like you invert the soil over, spread it out. You get Dog to run over it a couple of times, and it's seamless.
Hugo sees what you're doing, and Druid crafts a few plants growing over it. Really
Very
nice.
cool, very cool. You're able to do that seamlessly, and it works out very well. But with that, we go into our next day of travel. Can someone else please roll a D100 and a D10?
Go make greatness, Liam. So,
So-
you want your D10 and you want your percentile and your D100.
31.
All right. Sorry, I just got to answer this question. It is now Mike and us. No, sorry. We were
DM does.
on. I believe we're on D and Dust. So yeah, the next day is Mike and Dust, which is MICHENDAHS, which is the 18th day of Svathrin. So I used a lot of like German linguistics on this,
Yeah.
just to really fuck with everyone.
No, I dig it.
It's okay. Dyslexic brain just like that one.
Mike and it, McDonald's. But
Loving it.
Before we go, Hugo's going to pull out an apple that he's got that's starting to go a little bit bad and feed it to the horse.
Yeah.
So what's this boy's name?
That's a very good question. My
go on,
friend.
son, pull it out.
Quickly Google the Russian word for
Drake.
horse.
Oh, Dama.
Dharma.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Dama.
DARMA.
DAMA.
Oh,
Is his
what's
first
that?
name Jeffrey?
Literally just
Yeah.
that's what mine
Can
was.
we all
It
call
just
him
means big
Jeff?
horse in Chinese.
Tight. You know what?
Hey, no.
Effective.
Fun fact, it also means marijuana. Just gotta throw that out there. Literally the same.
What a weird conjunction of words.
Yeah.
Language
so,
is weird.
big horse in
31%, wasn't it?
Segue. Yes, that's correct.
Starting from your morning trip,
Mm-hmm.
it is without incident. Eventually into the morning, probably about an hour and a half-ish, give or take, as you guys continue. You do cross a river. Now, the river is wide enough. You're probably looking at about 20, 21 feet, give or take. But there is a decent little wooden bridge that is built over, very wide for carts. Definitely not for two, but one cart, if people are kind enough to give way, you are able to go past. Is it going to do the thing? River? Do the river sound, please? Hell yeah. God, I love this app. But you guys are able to pass over the river. It is still. So roll a d20 for me. Demi's on it.
It's a 4.
The 4.
Oh.
Weather's starting to go a bit on the south side. The cloud cover that normally allows for the sun to become a bit like what's the word? I keep forgetting the word where it's like diffuse. That's the word. It's diffusing the light of the sun.
That's the
It maybe looks like it might rain, but unsure because the clouds can go in and out of being dark and light all the time. But only weather coming in, you're really gonna know. But you guys are able to continue on and keep pushing on. Is anyone doing anything? Are there any particular thoughts anyone wishes to voice as you continue on during the day? We'll say for this point, for the sake of brevity, you're about hitting the past midday into the afternoon, give or take.
Dari would like to sniff the air and try and find out what is the chance of it going to rain.
Do a nature check.
Oh yeah, nature check. Do I have
Be smart, my boy.
any?
Intelligence.
No, I've got a 9. Is that a 9 or a 6?
That's a 6.
Unsure. Unsure.
Looks at his chest. It's not raining.
I'm sorry.
Gonna wipe herself.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we keep going.
Everyone make perception checks for me.
Oh shit. Oh, nat 20.
Nice one, man.
Get your
Nat
dice
20.
out of my dice tray.
2 nat 20s?
18.
Really? Hell
Got
yeah.
one right in front
I
of you.
actually do.
Anyone
equal
who got
rights and equal lefts, my friend.
anyone who got over 12. Excellent. Anyone who got over 12. Hugo, I'll say while you're because obviously you're in the cart because your ability to travel distance with everyone else is a bit harder. So you stay in the cart, and you find in the meantime it's like you're just distracted, traveling.
I'm
On
sitting
this
on the
side.
horse braiding his mane, putting
You were
flowers in
not
his
braiding my fucking horse's head.
Hey man, horse is loving it.
In the cart.
But
I'm doing
I
that,
am
and Dari
next
just
to the
picks me up.
horse.
And moves me
yeah,
around.
you,
No touch, only look.
no take, only throw. I find for Hugel, it's just the fact it's so much. Like you're seeing so much of the landscape now going down the opposing side of the landmass. It's just cool, and like you're with so many like new faces, and you're trying to observe people and take everything in and learn. You're just not quite there. But for everyone else who rolled
he's
over 12,
Sort of drawing his maps as well, so he's sort of looking around a little bit.
yeah, like mapping your route out for sure. You'll find while you guys are the tower went down. While you're moving through, everyone else who got over 12, there's an audible fluttering, and when you kind of like try to figure out where it comes from, you see like off kilter, maybe like just a little left. It's a really sleek, shiny black raven.
Lunch!
No.
You know what? I just bought.
Oh no!
Oh, I thought you hit that 20. I was going to be like, yo.
Oh, that's alright with it. It's +8 to hit anyway, so it's a dirty 20.
He just blows a giant hole in his fucking
Yeah, dude.
raven.
Go tell me about it.
Let me.
Do I notice this?
You do now.
What the fuck? It's going to be too late to react, but
That's 10
It's a bird.
damage.
It's a bird sky.
I wanted to roll anyway.
goodbye.
You're basically got the high fantasy equivalent of a 357 Magnum, and you've just there's no bird left.
Hugel jumps out of the
If the
car,
legs
runs
hold
over
on
to
to
the
the
birds, and drops down, like, looking quite pissed off.
Zero's gunning it because she thinks that Hugo's about to eat her fucking lunch first. And she's going to do like a dry motion, like on your left, scoops up the fucking bird.
The gunshot rings out, and
It's a
instantly
raven, right?
it was a raven, and instantly
Oh.
it's silence. Other birds fly away. Any critters that were in the immediate 200-foot range, gone.
Go.
Only thing you can hear is the wind and the sympathetic sound of everything else outside of that circle. But Hugo, you jet from the car and you see this raven with a gnarly hole through its chest region.
There would be nothing left of that bird. Like the bird out of fucking Shrek.
Hugel would pretty much drop to his knees and grab the small bird necklace around his neck and start saying a prayer.
While he's saying the prayer, Zero kind of like comes up behind him, scratches her head, looks a bit confused, then reaches down and just picks it up by a foot.
You have no respect for the queen.
It's a raven.
Do you know nothing of the gods?
There are no gods. The gods are dead.
Whoa.
Where do you think my power comes from? His hand glows in flames.
I thought it just came from a mythical garden somewhere.
You have much to learn. And just walks away like sulking.
She's gonna start plucking it as she walks.
Oh,
You're an absolute savage.
Make a religion or arcana check for me.
8 plus religion. 11.
Following defilement of sacred omens and, you know, like animals and all that sort of stuff is a big deal to a lot of people that have faith, even in, you know, reflective of our real life. It's a big deal. Hold tight. When you coming from what just happened to when you're walking and like just trying to calm yourself down and think, there's this weird sensation flows over you, but weird in the sense that you weren't expecting it, but you felt this sensation before. And it levels you out a little bit. And for lack of not being a wordsmith and not being able to communicate as well as others, the feeling you get from this is it's okay, she couldn't help it. And then that feeling goes away and you're hit by the light wind and the slowly incoming sound of returning wildlife to the area, probably about 10-15 minutes in, where they've realized that it's leveled out. And
Sulky attitude dissipates a little bit as he jumps back in the car.
I'm sorry, she didn't know me. She's just genuinely ignorant about this stuff. I just want to preface with that. I'm so sorry.
I'm ignorant about other things. It's character.
I just think I was being awesome.
And what was your trail of thought, Liam, before we continue on moving?
Yeah, I was getting the religion thing as well because I'm religious as fuck.
Roll it and see what happens, because for you it'd be a
I
different
don't even
ballgame.
know what I want to do, so it's okay. I'm just going to look at her with disgust and judgment.
Make a religion check for me anyway,
Okay.
because I want to see how this level goes.
That is a 17. I'm very
Even with no, but it's not even the sense of religion, right? With a paladin, you get the divine sense.
fucked up.
No, what was it? With a paladin, it's divine sense, and you can sense like fae, fiend, evil, undead, celestials. I think it is like there's a list of things. Can you read that out for me? Divine sense. I know there's a list of things, but I just want to make
As
sure.
an action, you can detect good and evil. Anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind
Okay.
cover.
You find like, and this is battle sense, right? Like this is like, oh shit, something's popped off. This is what I was trained for. Like I'm a soldier. When you're kind of like got your head on a swivel and just watching between the two parties involved, you feel that weird cold sensation flow over. But when it washes over you, you can feel where there's a bit of an odd barrier, and your warmer light kind of gives you like a weird little halo feeling, and you automatically get the ping where it's like,
What is
that's his divination, that's his divinity.
Oh, is
coming
there
through
something
here.
like trying to charm or like?
No,
calm
it's
her
not.
down or
It's
anything like that?
yeah, you get the feeling it's like this is some sort of religious intervention kind of thing where it's
There's
like
some connection between.
Like
Yeah.
you
Playing
understand
and
why he got so upset over it, and then you
yeah.
also kind of understand
I
why
will also
Sarah did what she did.
Yeah.
I'll also ask, being a paladin, do you have any distinctive religious marks on armor or anything like that?
I have a cross around my neck, and on my shield, I do believe I have a cross as well.
you have no on the shield. It's the diamond jewel,
That's
which
right.
is like your family's.
Where's my boy at?
I've got them here. I keep them behind the thing. But because
You have that.
your one's like it was like a circle with like a cross X kind of thing in it, and it's got the symbol of. I don't have your character sheet up. Let me look. I think did we?
I don't know
think-
if we put it in there.
Can you double check what your god for your alignment is? Otherwise, if you'd like, I can give it to you now so you can pop it in.
It is.
Would I recognize that?
We're gonna find out because I need to pull it up.
Yeah, no, we never put it in there.
No, that's okay. Let me. Because I don't keep them all in the same document. Because I'm a dickhead.
The goddess, wasn't it?
I believe it was the. I think it was the Silver King.
That's what we're talking about. The one I picked.
Your deity, yeah. I think it was the Silver King, which is so his symbol is a circle with like a plus sign, but it's got like flamboyant points where it's meant to be like shiny, and then in the center is a chrome like silver dragon's head. And I'm not even gonna make him roll to see it because it's always out because it's like kind of a thing for paladins.
Yeah.
It's like I need my shit on display for everybody.
I use my cross to touch spells as well.
It's like your spellcasting focus kind of thing, yeah.
It's my spell focus. Yeah.
It's basically it becomes like part of your armor every day. You have to wear it so you can do your shit.
Yeah.
But if you would like to make a history check to try and see if you know anything about other deities, you are more than welcome to do so.
Natural 1. No.
Shit, I love you. No, from your memory, you only learn about the Queen of Corvus and the Matron of the Wilds because of where you grew up.
Yeah.
Everything else, it's a bit like, oh, I've kind of got to learn as I go. But we are still moving in this instance. Anyone else have anything they want to do?
Just
Keep going.
While everyone's kind of like
Arguing over the bird.
having a bit of a bicker, having a bit of a moment, Voyager's just gonna progressively hang a little bit further back. And every time Zero drops a feather, Voyager will pick it up, stuff it in his bag, and then the next one, until eventually the bird's been plucked clean. He'll have all the feathers in his bag.
And that's all she wrote.
That's it.
Sounds like some food and shit.
yeah.
You're like,
Witchcraft.
yeah, it is. I love it.
Yeah, no shit.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Okay, and you guys continue on. Let me just make sure I haven't lost myself here. So, you guys push on.
I'd say that seeing as there was a raven there, Hugel has a specific, like, stands up on the back of the cart and has a look around the area to see if there's anything.
You can make a perception check.
11.
11. Can't immediately catch it. You hear this, like the fluttering of winged creatures, like kind of out of distance, but on the main path, not so much.
Does Dio make a perception check?
If you like.
He's got keen senses, so he's
Yeah.
all over.
If everyone wants to, as you're progressing down the path, feel free.
Oh, gosh.
Nah, I rolled my nat 20 for perception
Oh, yeah.
already. That's a nat one. Too busy picking up feathers.
Dirty 20.
12.
23.
Holy fuck. What are you guys rolling?
Cocaine.
Cheating birds? It's birds everywhere.
I do cocaine. Zero and Zeph, as you're kind of trotting along, in the first millisecond of hearing it, it almost sounds like, and we're like, this is like continue on. It's been a quiet walk. You're probably going into like before dusk, right? Like 5 p.m. as like the sun begins to set. And at the first millisecond, you'd almost not believe that you heard it. And it's like a faint whistling on the air. And normally you chalk it up to like, oh, that's just nature. It's what happens, wind passes through things. Except for the fact that for a split second on it, you swear. Stop.
Zira's gonna halt where she is and then look over her shoulder to see if anybody else heard that.
Zeph's gonna look directly at you because if you stopped, they're gonna think that you heard it too.
Oh, sorry, Zero.
Eyes forward, lest you walk into another bear trap.
Sorry.
Hold the horse.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Hugo.
Ah! Just like,
Just rolls over.
He rolls out the back.
Did anybody else hear that? You heard that, right?
Hear what?
Something on the wind sounded like stop.
Another one.
Ooh, even
Like
Dahlia
an
heard
inhale.
that one.
I don't want them to hear it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, Dahlia did not hear that. What was that?
Magic people. Do you have magic where you can detect things?
You've been standing too close to those bangs. Your ears are going crazy on you.
Then how do you explain mine?
You hear it too.
Yes.
Becomes a little bit more aware.
The whistling again.
What do you hear?
Something's on the wind.
It's almost like
Dahlia.
a whister. A whister? A whister.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
Find the wind.
She's still like a low bowl of Worcestershire.
What'd you roll? What'd you do?
I didn't roll anything.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if Dog hears it.
You can roll for dog.
And
Maybe not.
So little.
How do you even read
That's a 16.
16.
that? Whoa, that's impressive.
Dog's uncomfortable.
It's a
Something's triggering like that animalistic sense, but like he doesn't even know what it is.
Cool.
But he's looking a bit, like dogs get a bit wigged out. Like he's like that. Yeah.
Dahlia's gonna cast Divine Sense and see if you can feel anything in the 60-foot radius around them.
Sure, go for it.
I cast Divine Sense.
Oh, that's why there's no roll for it. Let me think. I forget there's no rolls for it.
You can't remember everyone's character sheet. It's fine.
Sorry.
Immediately in 60 feet.
Yeah.
Not immediately around you. You get uneasy. It feels a bit uneasy, but not immediately around you, no.
I know the type of anything that's like whatever it is too.
Yeah, but not in 60 feet.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, we're good. I don't sense anything. There's no evil.
I sense a fucking weirdo.
That's me.
Confirmed. He's still struggling with the loss of his best friend, okay?
And too emotionally stunted to talk about it.
He just wants to get fucking wasted. He didn't get to go to the pub.
Zeph and Zero whistle on the wind again.
Look, an obvious distraction.
Which direction did it kind of sound like the noise was going in?
Right hand side.
We heard that right. Shit, the fucking heck, there will be boogies. The wind, the phantom, is telling us to go right. Well, it says come, but it went off to the right. I don't know if we should be following something that takes no corporeal form. You can't even identify what it is. You said you sense nothing.
Are we getting
Around us.
We're not at the intersection for Cinderfen, are we?
Can I gesture for Dog to go right?
Is there
We can.
paths?
There's a little bit. Yeah, it's. I say path in the sense where it's like you can walk there. Maybe
Like an animal track sort of thing?
not even an animal track. There's like it's like when you're hiking and you can see where it's like I could go down there if I wanted to.
Which
If Dog's going, Zeph is gonna sneak, like kind of with Dog,
I-
but
Just want
Yeah.
to see if Dog is inclined to head in the direction that's been referred to by these guys.
If you tell Dog to go, he will go. It's just in his nature. So Zeph stealthing behind Dog depends on if you wish to send him or not. I would like to give, just for the sake of not sounding too metagamey, it's probably the smartest thing you can do because Dog just comes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
how far are we from when we did the water crossing? Like, is that a couple of hours ago?
A couple of hours, yeah.
Okay, well, that arranged.
More so, yes, granted, he'd go if I commanded him.
Mm-hmm.
Does he look happy about it?
No, but also
Dead as fuck. He's like,
doesn't. He looks uneasy, but he doesn't look happy. But he also doesn't look. He goes, well, shit, gee, okay, like
All right, then.
Zeph roll stuff.
I was cocked.
So good.
Don't
I
need it.
support women's rights and
That's 18, my guy.
Hey!
Yeah,
Fucking roll.
you're pretty confident that dog doesn't notice, and you can sneak through. I have to get the board out. Shit.
Oh,
Oh,
Doug.
oh, yeah.
Doug, it's my boy.
What are you gonna
Doug,
say, dog?
Doug,
Goes down about there.
Doug.
For the sake of Zeph, you are there. You're just not there.
Yeah,
You're-
I'm there, but I'm not there.
Me
Try
through.
and find me. Where's Wally?
So this is out here
Got him.
because Zeph is able to see it.
Yeah.
Right? Dog moves into the center here.
Is that the one thing in the light?
It's just a tree. And
Okay, rolling. Like,
there's a moment where he looks just as confused as anyone would going into an open space. You know that Dog's gone in there with a sense of like, okay, I need to find something. I need to tell Dad that I found something. And Zeph, you're watching and you're picking it up. It's like, oh, this little dude's confused, right? And then it starts. At first, you look up because you think it's a change in the clouds and the weather. But then you realize it's not a change in the weather. Something's happening here in this isolated incident. Those whispers and that whistling you hear start coalescing thicker, and you know that it's getting louder because Dog begins to react to it. And they all start coalescing, and you watch as there's seeping from beneath the soil. And at first you think it's like water, like, you know, the geysers, all that sort of stuff of the like. But it's not. It's black ichor, and then it's smoke. It comes out solid, and then it fades. And from the black, it becomes like a fog, and then there's orange burning within it. But it's then instantly diluted as this thing wraps around it, and it takes a humanoid shape. Like it is built to look like a human being, like, or a humanoid. Angled face, what seems to be long flowing hair, some sort of ruffled out dress, silhouette cloak of some sort. And then from the fact where the face would be, and it's two burning bright orange eyes. And Dog does that thing where it's like, and like spreads his arms out. He's like, no, fuck you, G, I'm not moving. This is what's up. And there's a solid 10 seconds where like nothing happens. Can you make a perception check for me, please? Or investigation, whatever's going to work. I'll give you either of those.
how far is Dog?
Not farther too farther you guys can see. You guys probably can't even hear what's going on right now.
Okay.
So that's 14 for either.
14 for either. What you're getting is the coalescing and the whispering still happen, but it's like when you walk into a busy street back home and people are trying to have a conversation, but they're trying to keep it personal. And it's like little whispers. One hand comes up, this saddened expression on the creature's face. Head peels back further than any humanoid head can peel as the mouth gapes open and burning orange shrieks at Dog. Everyone immediately hears it, and that's where we're going to go to break. We're going to take a break.
That put the heebie-jeebies in me, I won't lie.
Excellent.
I enjoyed that.
And welcome back. I don't know if that one's recording, but welcome back.
It is.
Welcome back. We are back from break. Following off the tail end of this spectre-like creature shrieking at our scaly boy Dog, and the sound so audibly piercing the air that the rest of our party are alerted. We're going to give the opportunity over to Zeph at the moment, because Zeph is right there. What would you wish to do? You've watched this wraith-like spectral being with a hand pointed out, orange eyes, and you can see where it's flowing, where it looks like a cloak. You can see like the burning orange within it, and then it gets coalesced by the smoke, but it's still mouth agape backwards, arm pointing, as it's like just screeching consistently. Like there's no break in the sound whatsoever. What do you want to do?
Is there a way?
Look, right now, dog probably does too. Anyway, what do you want to do?
Zeph's just gone directly into fight or flight mode,
Mhm.
and they're gonna instantly pick flight and
Did you say fight?
flight,
Oh,
and they're gonna dash towards Dog and kind of basically turn him around to get him to go in the opposite direction. back
So-
to the party.
we're gonna pop Zeph down so everyone knows where we are going for movement. So Zeph comes sprinting out of like you found yourself wedged in between, like on the flat of a tree, and like watching, like peeking around, and you find because you are able to like change your face, you're able to make your complexion that much darker, and camouflaging comes second nature to you now. But instantly you're like, gotta get my boy out of there. You sprint out, and when you come face to face with this thing, not that I think it'll show it well on camera, but that is what we're looking at. This black spectral creature.
Bro, my old eyes cannot make out any detail on that head.
Oh, look at it.
Even with my glasses, I don't.
Bro,
I
I just see black.
Well, I will pull it up to the camera before we wrap up into the next bit so we can see. But it is this black flowing spectral creature just pointing back, still screeching, and you run up and you want to grab Dog and get out.
Just basically make Dog do a 180 and then just kind of
On me.
nudge him along to be like, let's fucking go.
I'm going to say in this instance, because Dog has the weird standoffish nature that he gets from Voyage, because Voyage also will leap headfirst onto the breach, make a strength check for me. Can you please roll one contested for Dog? Because as you it's like this awesome like sprint slide in. As you slide, your face warps and your skin goes back to being that grey color. It's like a pan of a camera, and you grab it and it's just like and like the acidic bile coming out of his mouth. Roll your check for him. For our boy.
That's a 4.
That's a 10.
It's a bit of an effort. You almost slip up yourself, but you are able to grab him and sprint out. As you begin to pull and move, if you are going to move, because you basically got a surprise round on this creature. I believe with surprise rounds, even if you surprise a creature that's not aware there, I don't think they can take a reaction on you in a surprise round. Am I correct in that?
Be your call, but I don't think
I'm
so,
gonna say
because they don't usually get anything.
I'm gonna say that's the case, because you were so effective in being able to tail a Dog, and this creature was looking at him, not at you. You're basically gonna get out for free.
Yeah.
So you're able to move your, I would say, coming from your hiding spot, which is about here. I'm gonna say that's probably. Where's me measuring stick? Measuring stick. Pardon me. That was your 30 feet.
Yep.
Movement. So you take it. If I would say grabbing Dog. I'll say grabbing Dog is. No, I'll say because you grabbed him to basically avert him to say, "Hey, let's go."
Yeah.
So I'll say Dog's not that dumb, contrary to popular belief. He's gonna follow you. So if you want to make a dash action, he's basically gonna act on that run for you.
Yeah.
We'll do that because you basically got a surprise and you've stunned this like creature into stupefaction, and so you'll take your dash and get on out of there. But now, that's your surprise round. We'll roll initiative, and it'll just be Zeph, Dog, and this spectre, or whatever this thing is.
We all heard the scream, right?
You did all hear the scream, but this is all this is
Yeah.
resolving an instantaneous effect from that thing happening. So we'll go.
Oh my god.
Manga.
16.
Yep. What'd that boy get? It's so little.
like him. He'll get bigger dice as he gets bigger.
I like that.
It's a 9 at the moment, but I'm just making sure I've got my information straight.
A little dice for dog.
He's got his own little dice.
Yeah.
Dice for Doge.
Yeah, you're like, I don't trust them.
Yeah, and again, maybe
So-
just stop recording. I've got sections of the video just.
Mhm.
Due to the nature of how dog would normally function, technically he wouldn't be able to function without Voyage there. So his action, I assume by default, would fall onto the space in which Zeph's bonus action would occur. So
Yeah.
his initiative is kind of void.
Basically, the way Drakes work is unless issued an order, they just take the dodge action,
Mhm.
which invokes disadvantage on attack rolls made against that creature. So basically, what's happening here is we're seeing if Dog is gonna have good enough battle sense to work before, after Zeph, or is he gonna fall behind and this thing gets to pop off before he gets a chance to move?
He rolled a 9 then.
Okay, so we're going to say he goes last because you're right. Technically, he goes on yours, not on Zeph. So we're going to treat him as his own individual in this combat because you sent him off, unfortunately. So, Zeph, that is you. Your turn is first. What did you roll? Sorry, it was
16.
16. Right, yep, cool. So you are first.
So. One day I'll get better weapons.
And just keep fleeing.
Yeah, that's true too.
My best weapon is running.
The encounter, we just run away from.
Oh, no.
I probably would run back to the party just so we're at least together.
Rendezvous with the group.
Yeah.
You power. You just sprint. Everything in your body says, fuck this, let's go. And you gap it a lot faster than Dog could keep up with you. But unless you have anything else to do, that is your turn.
Yeah.
Next is going to be this spectre creature. What? As you look back, when you grab Dog and readjust his trajectory and he begins to move, there is a moment where eventually the scream finally stops and it goes back in, but you hear on like the tail end of the shriek, it's coalescing voices. And it just goes, and there's like a shriek, and you hear this as this thing, like you hear it pop up. Damn it. I did so well.
Pop off queen.
It sounds terrifying.
Blue minis every day.
Yeah, we did.
This
guys
spectre's got
die.
emphysema.
He's dead already.
This spectre's got emphysema. So if you were gonna run again, that would put you. Let's go. So you're 30 feet away already. Moving again. You got 30, right?
Yep.
So that puts you at 60.
Still within eyesight.
Been 90.
You're within eyesight, yeah, definitely. Because you got that thing where it's like you're running, but you're looking back to try and gauge where you're at.
She's using or if they're using their whole thing, it'd be 60 because stash as well.
That was the surprise round. This is the original issue. Oh, so did you move and dash as part of your whole turn?
I'd probably just say move to 30 feet because I don't want to be too far away
Okay.
from Dog just yet, just in case Dog doesn't get the hint to, hey,
Yes.
Abandon
Okay.
Dog.
fucking let's go.
Don't abandon Dog.
So,
Still within range to grab him again if necessary.
because you sprinted, this creature is going to just go for what is immediately there, and it's going to be Dog. I think. Because no one's attacked, but he's the closest. Yep. I'm going to go with that. I'm assuming a 10's not going to hit for Dog.
I don't have his stat block.
You don't? No, that's okay.
I just have the thing here that says he can do occasional things.
If you click on D&D Beyond, I believe if you click on Drake Companion, it'll pull up the little block for you.
Beautiful, thank you.
Did it work?
Yep.
Hell yeah,
I'm
baby.
stupid.
No, you're not. You're learning. It's okay.
So, what was the thing?
First one was 10. That's unlucky because the second one was a 17 plus 5. I can't help it. I'm an asshole.
My boy, Father Help.
Father help. "17 points of damage as this black smoking. It's magic, and when it passes through, you watch tails of it dissipate off into nothingness. But when it hits Dog, you hear that and like the whelp and the thumping as it hits him. What's that put him at?
What was the number again? Sorry, I was reading.
What did I just say? 17. Hang on.
17 plus to hit. I didn't hear what that meant.
Oh, sorry. 17 points of damage.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, no, he's ouching. He's ouching. He can't take another one of them.
So it's one of those things where it's like Dog hits the deck and it's heavy, but what you hear is and you see it's more so reactionary out of fear as you watch. It's like that thing where dogs have something like in their ear or they're like something's confusing them and they're like shaking their head rapidly and he's wigging out and you find these very disoriented. And he gets up, looks to you, looks back at the thing, and you watch also almost like a Scooby-Doo character skids on the spot and Dog wants out. Bringing that onto his turn, he is going to... Hang on. I just remembered something. Dog, unless ordered, takes a dodge action. So I'm going to re-roll that last one just to make sure. He doesn't get hit. You're very lucky. Very lucky. I'm catching myself up. I'm using all the rules. As Brennan Lee Mulligan would say. So it throws this black trail thing and it just falls short trying to hit such a small creature. And you find he is not frightened in the sense of like where it's mechanically frightened, but he's wigging out. It's like, oh, this shrieking thing can throw things. This sucks. Going to the bottom of the initial list is going to be Dog, and he'd only use his entire action to... Well, he'd use his action to move because he technically uses it to dodge. But we'll go with that. So at that point from where you guys are, because you picked him up the first time, he's going to follow out. So you immediately leave the clearing. We'll come out of initiative, but this thing is now battle sense ready, so that let that come into play. But for you guys, you hear the shriek, you hear some noises, and you hear some whelping, and then you watch as Zeph, and then not long after, Dog on his four stubby little legs follows out behind as you breach into the clear and you see your party.
The fuck was that?
Humanoid type smoky thing with glowing eyes. Basically, best way I can describe it is shadow that whispers. Danger. Yeah, not good.
That sounds terrifying.
Are we killing it?
What?
Well, I don't know how, since it does have a humanoid figure, but it doesn't seem to have flesh.
Magic. Eyes of the grave, so any undead within 60 feet will ping for me for the next 6 seconds.
Nothing. Not even within 60 feet.
Well, I don't know if it's chasing.
Listen
Nothing.
intently for any footsteps. Wouldn't we hear it screeching still?
Well, yeah,
No, you heard the
if
first
it's not
screech.
Undead, I don't know anyway, but it sounds like a spirit or something, so...
We wouldn't even hear it coming. It's not going to make any
Yeah,
footsteps.
well, it's not within 60 feet right now. so
Basically,
I've gotta-
you heard the first screech, you heard the shuffling of Zeph and Dog booking it out, and then once Zeph hit the clearing, it's just silent.
There's absolutely no reason for us to fight this, right? Like, there's nothing to get. We could literally just walk away right now. There's no one in danger, right? We got everyone out, like... Right?
How far off the road was it?
Right?
Uh,
I say full run is about
Put your
80
fucking
feet.
guns away, go.
Yeah.
Eager for a fight.
Zero's
It's okay,
to do.
No, Cody. This guy's looking at
Zero
Cody like, all right, Cody,
knows.
I will play this for you.
No, you got a book?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, you guys are growing. Isn't that cool?
Oh wait, we just walked out.
Zero's gonna go back in where Zeph and Dog came from.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, you want
Yeah, that's what I was.
I thought you were
like,
going to book it
yeah,
out.
Get
Yeah.
out of here.
Her thought process is that whatever it is, she doesn't want it following us. If it is going
We
to
deal with that after.
Okay.
Don't
Make a perception
wanna do
check.
a wrong move. Okay, can do. That is 18.
Well, I can take these guys off now, 'cause it's done. When you come at the clear, so for the sake of this, you're basically on the square outside of the map, basically, as you're like trying to peek in. Don't see anything.
Can I? Because both Dog and I speak Draconic. Can I just ask Dog what the fuck happened? What was it?
You're gonna make me do the dog? You're gonna make me do his voice?
Yeah.
Make a Scooby Doo. Make a Scooby Doo.
Absolutely not.
I really imagine it very aristocratic.
Maggie, where are my testicles? Voyage, he looks up. Basically, from what you communicated through, it was like, scary, screamy lady. Bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
Don't put me back in there, Dad.
I'm sorry, son.
Off
we go.
Yeah. Oh, shit, are we following her?
Yeah.
Jumps off the cart and starts to follow.
You're probably
Zero.
like a meter, like halfway back, which is kind of like walking back disappointed. There's nothing. It's gone.
So everyone just doesn't see it anymore.
You can make another peek yourself if you want to look, for sure.
Do we all follow her?
You, as you're walking in to have a look, Zero meets you guys on the way back. So you're currently all just standing in the middle of like a little bit of like tree and shrubbery.
Darius
No, that
gonna
was
go
11.
Can't see anything.
to where it was, and then he's gonna do it.
You're able to, it's the same thing. You're basically looking on the precipice, but you can roll for it if you want to have a look.
But if I cast Divine Sense, I can literally feel it where it is, exactly where it is.
Up to 60 feet.
I'm where it was. Like, I mean, if it's not there, it's not fucking there. But
Where you are, so one being...
I walk back into that.
You want to go into the center.
I mean, if I'm there.
I have to ask because you got to be very specific. Do you want to be on the precipice of the clearing, or do you want to be in the middle where Zeph said they saw this creature?
This is your fault. I'm going straight in there. Darius like, all right, fine, I'm here. Fuck it, let's find out what the big deal is.
You just there's nothing here. What are you
There's
talking
nothing.
about?
Head comes off.
Why are you so scared?
So 60 feet. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Yeah, 60.
Basically
So,
the entire thing.
so you can do the clearing.
Hugo
Divine
stays
sense.
within 30 feet.
Mhm.
Hugo would stay within 30 feet.
Of
Hugo's
Dario.
like,
Darius.
I'm gonna help you, but at the same
Stay
time,
back, but yeah.
I want to be able to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, hang tight.
Respectable.
Magnets. Let me get some miniatures. So we'll say within 30, you're about there. Read me Divine Sense again because Paladin's wigging me out.
Let's pull it up.
I play a bard. I wouldn't know.
I got told tonight I should play a Bard Varian. I so wanted to, bro. I was like, that's fucking genius. Bill with a lute would be fucking incredible.
Divine Sense, Liam.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep the conversation going.
Barbarian that thinks they're a bard, though, so having no skills.
I need to know what
You can detect good and evil
Yeah, creatures.
until the end of your. Are we doing it by turn? I guess so. Yeah, until your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover, and that is it. I think.
nothing. No pings, nothing.
You know the type of the celestial fiend. Yeah. Any being whose presence is said, but it's not an eye.
But with that, you get the sense that whatever you believe Zeph saw,
I can
not
also
any of those
detect
creatures.
any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated by it. So if it's touched anything or like is inside anything, from what I understand, I can tell where it is.
I would say the concept of desecration is an area that's been tainted by foul magics or something of evil.
Yeah.
The area itself feels desecrated, but you get no sense of a creature.
So the whole fucking area feels nasty.
The whole area just feels, hey, this
It's
juju
like,
bad.
Oh my god, I made a mistake.
You feel dirty. You're like, "Ugh."
I feel fucking violent.
Like touching wet food in the sink.
What did you do to me?
Touching wet food in the sink.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Hugo, what was the thing that you did?
Wet noodles.
It was done by now. It only lasted a turn.
And what was it again? Sorry.
Eyes at the grave.
That's right. Eye of the grave. Yeah, no, Eye of the
Undead. So
No.
already covered by.
didn't work. Yep. What about you guys on the outside of this ring, basically this clearing?
Nothing's jumped out and tried to shiv him, so are you sure of what you saw?
All I can say is I don't know what it was, what sort of magic it came from, but if it's not here now, we shouldn't be looking for it.
Does Daria look uncomfortable?
Dude, I feel uncomfortable.
I use thaumaturgy to make you hear whispers.
It's like,
You hear ominous whispers.
yeah, do
around.
I hear anything?
No, I just use thaumaturgy to make
Oh,
you hear.
yeah.
Darius like,
Yeah, often slightly around you, you're like,
Oh,
stupid.
friends. Turn around and I'm just giggling.
From
yeah,
30
you're
years
like,
behind
all I see is you going like,
Voyage does the same to you.
You mother.
You start hearing ominous whispers around your neck. It's like, the flowers look stupid.
Second flames.
The
fuck you say?
I don't have a gun, but I have fire. So, what's everyone doing? What's everyone doing?
I'm calling out for people to come help. Like, oh wait, no one else knows that I'm hearing shit. Hey, I'm just like I'm hearing noises.
Well,
And-
I
oh,
do.
you know.
But now I'm hearing whispers, so I'm also like,
It's this weird chain of whispers.
You started to me and then this thing's
Chinese
fucking with
whispers,
you.
if you
It's
will.
like- D&D.
You've got that look on your face, and I'm frightened.
Just to double check everything, Zero pulls out the White Widow, lines it up, and she's gonna shoot that tree in the very center.
Make an attack roll.
Why the tree? It's
That's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit. Roll your damage. We'll see what happens.
Rotting Willow strikes back.
He just comes down, branches.
It's a fucking car.
That's 9. No, actually, I apologize. Sorry.
Crushes you like a
that'll
beer
be more
can.
than that.
I think White Widow should be 2d10.
I apologize. I've rolled the wrong die. It is 2d12.
Oh, 2d12. Jesus.
That's 12 damage.
Cannon crack rings through the air, and the tree directly in front of Daria explodes, and there's just this huge smoldering hole, and you hear the like birds freak out and bail out. Nothing.
Well, I'm satisfied.
Diane, make
She's
sure
gonna
there's no
spit
holes
on the
in it.
heel.
Yeah. Oh.
First the voices, now this.
It probably
Mamma
would have just been
mia.
like past you as it flew by.
Yeah, felt the wind and then the bang.
You hear the fucking little whistle.
Zero is personally satisfied with that, so she's going to turn on the heel and start making her way back to the car.
We just peace out. Like that every
Just
Okay.
before leaving, I'm just going to test one last theory.
Okay.
Stop with these theories.
Well, then fuck off then.
I'm trying with everything.
Bye.
Bullshit.
I just want to bring Dog back to the roughly the same spot he said he was, just in case.
Cool. So by this point, it's about. So you want to bring him out to the spot, so you're with him.
If he'll go,
He'll go if you ask him to go.
cool.
Okay, so we'll bring our colourful comrades here. So, blip, and about blip. There. So you guys are in the clearing now. You can see smoking tree with hole. Daria, Hugel there. You've actually pulled up right next to Hugel, and Dog's with you, kind of looking into the void and then looking at you, looking at Hugel, looking at Daria, like he's unsure as to what you're trying to glean from this moment.
Just making sure it's not going to be triggered by him again. Let's go.
Is there anywhere obvious when you hit the strike that went for Dog? Like, is there a big black mark on the ground or anything? There's no sign of anything. Nope.
Told you it was smoke.
Eagles is sort of, I think what was in your mind.
Dog saw it too.
Looks at Dog. Oh, I trust Dog.
And Zesh's just like, okay.
Because you guys are in battle sense, because you're basically aware of something, can I get you all to roll? Anyone who's Voyage, Hugo, and Daria, because you're in the clearing still, roll perception checks, please.
21.
Voyage is too busy being a smartass, but Dog is also present. Dog got a 16, which is...
Good boy!
Oh, he's a good boy.
Good boy!
I can't remember how that was.
All good.
Give me 2 seconds while I do things.
What'd you roll on the dice?
16, so it'd be a 21 if
Jesus
I take into account like the things I'm supposed to be taking into account.
So yeah, both of us got 20.
Numbers! Damn. Okay. It's basically the point where everyone's kind of in universal agreement. So it's like, we probably can just go and get out of here. And it's just that thing. It's just that thing. You hear your dad's voice in the back. It's like, now, son, just be wary. Things can be sneaky. And you just hear so faintly, just sizzling. As you turn and coming from this direction, you start seeing black smoke. And the black, shadowy humanoid figure rises again from this side, and you see what Zephyros meant, where it's like this coalescing figure where it looks like it has a form, but it's constantly moving. You know what I mean? It's like when when you put like this like hand sanitizer and like water in like that bottle thing, liquid, and it consistently moves. It never comes to rest.
Love
It's
it.
like that. And same thing, burning orange in the center. And like swirling, eyes open, jaw unhinges insanely loud, and that same ear piercing, like almost if you were point blank, probably burst capillaries in your ears. As it points and starts shrieking, but at all of you this time, because now it's aware that you're there. And it's physical, and it's shrieking, and it's just pointing. Like,
Guiding bolt.
really?
Yep.
Fuck. Okay, roll initiative.
Does your shriek have any effect on us at all? Like,
No, that's just, it's,
okay.
fuck you.
That's how it says hello.
Hi.
Hey, good morning, evil.
Do I
The
get
shrieking thing
do I
says
get the
hello.
guiding bolt off first, or is it?
Yes. Shoot your guiding bolt off, and then tell me your initiatives.
13 plus 6 to hit, so 19 to hit.
Yes, that hits. Roll your damage.
6. 4, 8, 12.
Yep.
And the next attack is made against it has advantage.
Oh, that's right. So just
So
the
it's
immediate
now
follow-up.
glowing and has, whoever attacks it next has advantage.
And guiding bolt's good too, because if they attempt to hide, they stay lit for the next turn. So that's pretty handy. So you watch as this like purple energy guiding bolt flows through, and it hits, and like there's a thump, and there's a magical effect that takes place, but also a bit of it kind of like just bleeds away. So like you're hitting the mass and it's doing something, but immediately just goes and falls back together. And there's silence, because it's like when someone pulls the power on a speaker unit, and instantly the music just stops, and it goes silent again for a second. Its head, the entire body remains still, and the head floats seamlessly. You know how like when a human turns their head and it follows the joint of the neck? This doesn't do that. The head flows completely independently of where a spine would be, locks eyes with Hugel, and just goes and shrieks towards you. And now it's mad. It's mad. But let's get those initiative rolls, please, guys. So let's quickly. Sorry. Alrighty. 25 to 20.
20.
Jesus.
21.
22.
Yeah. Fucked up with that shit.
We're ready. Everyone's like,
No one
So
shouts
22, 21, 20. Jesus Christ.
Seems about to get the shit.
It's just those three just gutter stomping this thing in the bush.
Fucking joke though, yeah.
Abaccio throws back the tea, just joins in, kicking this thing in the head. 22, 21, 20. Oh my god. And it's two Z's, which make it worse. I fucking hate you both. 19 to 15.
15.
Oh, well done, guys. And obviously, Doggy goes on Voyage's turn. Cool. Beginning of the round, that's going to be Zeph with 0 on deck.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, B1?
I think I am B2.
You missed the opportunity. Z1.
Right?
Oh! We'll get it next time.
Yeah.
We'll get it next time.
That's fucking horrible.
Whoever goes first is Z1.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
You fucked it.
So
Dang
many
it.
opportunities.
I'm going to use my bonus action first to hide on the tree there at the right and the border.
Yeah, so we're gonna pop you guys out. So you're technically outside this
Yeah.
bit here,
And
right?
I'm just going to
So
go to
you're basically going back to the same tree, I think, or are you going to the one on this side?
the one on the right, yeah. My
So,
right,
yeah.
your left.
We're gonna say you sprint. You're here basically, but
Yeah.
you are hidden. That's just for context of where you are.
Yeah.
So you what'd you roll for your stealth?
Stealth. Jesus Christ. That's so that's 21.
Yeah, that'll get the job done.
Girls wearing the invisibility cloak.
So
2 footsteps, silence.
for my action,
Oh gee, I wonder what it's gonna be.
I have 3 options. And I'm gonna go with the only one I know because I can throw it. I would because you know. No, I'm gonna throw dog. No.
By the tail, Mario throwing Bowser.
I'm gonna yeet my dagger.
Look, if you teed it up, I'd allow it once.
Okay, so roll to hit is 14 to hit.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And then come here. So again, refresh my memory because I'm hidden.
Sneak attack.
And the sneak attack, I roll 2.
At level 5, it should be 3d6. It should tell you.
Good if I read my shit. Yes, 3d6. I just have to scroll down.
God damn. I hate being right, but I don't.
What are you casting?
I'm throwing.
I'm casting knife.
You're casting.
You're casting.
Cast knife.
I cast a knife. Prepare to meet God. That's not my joke. I'm sorry. I got it from fucking Mikey from Legends of Evantress.
Okay, so that's 12 damage. That's only the 3d6 though. Is that all?
You gotta add your d4 for your dagger too.
Add my d4. That is correct. Which one's that?
Roll that spiky fella. Triangle.
That's right.
Triangle.
Let's do this one.
You may.
Um,
Shut up, you don't
so
have
that
talking
was
stick.
12 plus 1, and then it's plus 3, so that is 17? Yeah.
So 17, so take another 5 off that. Yep, beautiful. So you watch as the knife flies through. It sounds silly, but the smartest thing you think to do in that immediate moment is like, I'm gonna go for the glowing thing. That just makes sense. And you wait for that moment where enough of the viscous cloud is gone in the chest region, and you just go, money shot, and it sails through there. And you watch it land, and it sticks, and this thing shrieks and more of the smoke coalesces over the dagger and it goes into its form. But it catches you for a second and same thing, but this time it's pointing with both and you watch as its face splits in two faces on the same head, one shrieking at Hugel, one shrieking at Zeph. It's like angry.
Can you flank something like that? You technically can't, because it can see everywhere you
Fuck around, find out. Anyway,
Or do you think I'm gonna be able to flank anything? You hear me
anything else you want to do before your turn?
No, because I believe that was all because I used my bonus action first.
Yep. Yeah, you did.
Stealthy cover.
0.
God, thank you. 0 with Voyage on deck.
Sorry to interrupt you for just a moment, but because that was a weapon attack, dog gets a reaction, so there is 1d6 additional acid damage on your attack.
Oh. Do you want to roll that for dog?
Really? What?
Infused strike. When another creature within 30 feet of the drake that it
The
can
boy.
see hits a weapon attack, the drake can use a reaction to add 1d6 acid damage to the attack's damage.
Oh, you know what's gonna
You
be?
helped him. He gave you a 6.
Can you do that to Bullets, G?
Do you want to know what it was? In the instantaneous reaction where shit starts popping off, you watch Dog just spag the biggest loogie and hit the dagger on the way. He just goes, and it's just,
Just like a hitchhiker.
That's actually cool as fuck.
and you whole
Six.
fucking tail wag like he's chucked out. He's like, yeah, fuck you, G.
Zeph will give him a little wink, like, thanks, man.
Can't see.
Natural 20.
Yeah,
That's
just like a
bullshit.
wink in the shadow. He knows.
Lovely. Zero, that's you, Voyage. You're on deck.
I just dropped it and it fucking landed on a natural 20. I'm gonna fucking hit myself.
Seeing how Zeph waited for the prime moment to hit the like glowing orange
Mhm.
wall, Zero's gonna do the same and time a shot, wait till the smoke moves, and then shoot for the
It's consistently coalescing and oscillating. It's like you basically just time it's like 1, 2, easy.
that's still to 17 hit.
Yes, it does. Roll your damage, please.
That's 11 piercing damage.
Beautiful.
And just to confirm, reactions can only be used once.
Once per round. Yeah. So was that with the White Widow, right?
Yeah.
So again, thunderous crack. So you reload from the last time you use it and pull it up. Thunderous crack rings through the air as this slug flies through. When the White Widow round hits it, there's a moment where something fast passes through smoke and it gets vortexed and pulled in, and you watch it lose its shape for a moment, shrieking stops, and it like comes back, and immediately you notice it's starting to look diminished. The glow in the chest is fluttering like a light bulb it's about to blow, and you like there's moments where it's like it's got its hands up pointing at the people that it immediately wants to target. Then it sees you, it tries to split its face again into a third face, this time one of like an elven man. Some of the ears come out, but they're all conjoining together. You watch as one eye goes in, the mouth sails up the face, the two eyes are blinking. It's basically what you're getting from it immediately is like it's just trying to take forms of maybe something it's seen before or something it's been around, who knows. But the problem is every time someone's drawing its attention, it's just coalescing into whatever form it can manifest at that current moment in time, and it's trying to split its battle sense. Roll an insight check for me actually really quick, because you're able to do such a good like hit just concurrently between everyone.
So just insight, did you say?
Insight.
So that's 18.
I'll roll deception.
And the next one's so dirty 20.
More than that one. You get the sense, witnessing this thing shifting and struggling to keep form, that it's never had to take on this many people before. And people that can fuck around and or find out.
Seeing that, she'll probably surround it, overwhelm it.
Beautiful.
bratan.
Lovely.
Where is Zero's mini?
Zero is technically, you were technically on the outside. I'll put you about here. There. Lovely. Is that your turn?
Yes.
You're going to cap off of that. Alrighty, Voyage. That's you with Daria on deck.
Right, where is this?
No, it's Voyage, then you.
Okay,
Sorry.
Sorry. On deck means I'm
But yes, good lad. Welcome to Planet Earth.
I'm learning.
Hail of Thorns bonus action. Cast it level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that come. No
Well,
one
I don't know what else
shouts
I don't know what else I expected.
Hang on, I can do it.
Can you?
17.
That'll hit.
Yep.
That'll get the job done.
So we're looking at one of those plus one of those. I'm just stealing dogs numbers for now because they've been doing such a good job. And this is in honor of dog. No one shouts a dog.
No one shouts a dog.
So
Don't shout at dog next time.
Hit an arrow in the eye, mate.
I could fucking like hitting you.
you die IRL, mate. Let's go. It's also the D6, which is 3 damage, is radiant.
Just gonna check some stuff. I'm gonna check some stuff.
Yeah, do we know what type of creature this is yet?
No, you don't.
Smoke.
Didn't come
Okay,
up
yep.
around here.
So what's the total damage?
23.
23.
Yes.
So, as Voyage, you pull the arrow out of the quiver, pull it up. Arrow begins to glow yellow. Let us know how you do it. Slay your prey.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
No one shouts at my dog.
Just let it fly.
Yep.
Glowing arrow, almost like a bolt of lightning, hits the center orange, like the orange glowing bit, and the shriek becomes insurmountably high and then instantaneously fades into the background as the black shadow falls, and it starts turning into like goop, like black slime and ichor.
Nice shot, man.
And let's...
You cleared the way.
Is it Star Wars music?
No, this is just battle music from Pocket Bard.
Z1 and Z2.
But it falls. I'm gonna allow you...
I mean, I can.
Voyage, I'm going to allow you because you slayed this beast to make a wisdom check for me, please. So just D20, add your wisdom.
Yeah. Oh, smooth.
Oh,
Did I see that right?
that's amazing.
When the black goo dissipates onto the air, you realize it actually leaves some sort of trail behind, and it's kind of viscousy. It's similar enough, but it's also kind of different. And when you're looking at it, it's kind of like shining and going in and out of corporeal, and this could be something useful. I'll give you that. But next in the initiative, if you have nothing else to do,
I technically have another arrow.
then what do you want to do? Because it's gone.
Shoot whatever's left. Just shoot it in the air.
The goop.
Actually, one more free one, just because of the flow of combat. Give me a perception check, please. With advantage, because you're in battle sense. And you just fucking... a flying golden arrow, which is too cool.
That's a natural 20.
You realize as this thing dissipates that the black smoke that followed it, that led up to it coming out of the ground, is still there. You get the sense that there might be another one.
Can I see where?
Not right
is
now.
It leading into any direction?
It's definitely on this side of the map, but you can't tell exactly where it's going to come out of the trees.
Okay. Can I hold that second attack for when it...
You can hold the attack action. You can't hold the multi-attack.
Yeah.
So you basically have to wait for your next turn.
Cool. Fair enough. Can I warn?
I'll let you shout it off. Yeah, if you want to quickly let out a quick 2-word fucking 3-word.
There's more than one.
That was 4.
And I've got one for you right here.
All I hope is there's more than. There's more than what? Sorry.
Ear still ringing from the gun. That's going to be Daria with Hugel on deck.
So is there anything I can target right now other than just a wisp of fucking smoke? I'm just gonna cast what is it?
Liam's tiny hut. Later, fools.
I'm out. Not paid enough to deal with fucking dark magic.
A half glowing orb just comes up.
I'm going to cast. Where is it?
I hate that fucking gun. I hate that I gave you that gun, but I don't.
love that you gave me that gun.
You're welcome.
Flame.
And what's Sacred Flame do?
It is. You're just gonna make a DC saving throw.
So you're basically just launching a Sacred Flame over to that side of the map and just praying.
Into the. I'm gonna pray to my god.
Pray to the silver dragon, and like some silver sparks go around this radiant light as you basically hurl this like shiny ball. Is it? I'm gonna get you. I need you to make a luck check for me. Roll a d20, and basically, and use your spellcasting modifier to add on to it, which should be charisma.
Yeah. That's a 16.
16?
Sorry.
15?
Yes.
Okay. What was the save? What was the save?
It's a dex saving throw of 15. It has a 60-foot range, and I hit you with 2d8 radiant damage.
Oh man, reading snap blocks is That's a fail. So what does it take?
2d8 radiant damage.
Go for it. Your diamonds.
So we would see.
You watch as Dario basically cocks this armored bicep back and just hurls this silver flaming ball onto this side of the map, and then it explodes, and then you just hear that as something shrieks. You can't immediately see it right now, but the flame is basically going to illuminate it. What was your damage?
5.
Hey, that's okay. 5 is still enough. Is there any subsidiary effect to Sacred Flame? Doesn't it light up or something along those lines?
The target must succeed on dexterity saving throw or take 2d8 radiant damage. The target gains no benefit from cover from the saving throw. There's nothing else there. It doesn't
No, that's okay. Because it's radiant damage. So basically, the ball of light goes in, and you watch as it illuminates, and that draws everyone's eyes, and you see within the blinding light the blackened silhouette of this thing, and it's like it's watching when fire has little bits of kindling in it, and it goes up and it dissipates and becomes nothing, but the fire remains down the bottom. It's like that. Black bits of ichor and shadow, faces of orcs, elves, creatures, like even like tabaxi, like just random faces, but all at once and also all separate in just constantly contorting and shifting. But you did land it.
My next step is I'm going to astral step.
Yep.
To like literally right in front of where the fuck that thing was.
So I'll put the other one down. It's basically right in. How far does Sacred Flame go?
60 feet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You forget how fast 60 is until you get it on a map, and you're like, fuck! I should have tripled the size. Oh, it doesn't want to lean on the grass, that's the problem. There we go. And Astral Step is 30 or 60 feet? It's 30.
Starlight step, sorry. And
Starlight
it's,
step.
30 feet.
Yep, so halfway. And then you
I
can
just like walk the rest of the way?
and you can use your move and run.
Menacingly walks towards.
It
this
watches this big armored elf disappear, appear slightly closer, and come out of the Starlight Step in a full football sprint. With sword up, shield out. And you go to meet it.
An astral elf barbarian would be fucking insane. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
But that's all you can do. Because you use Sacred Flame, bonus action step, and movement.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
And I am my turn right in front of the sun. Like, pussy.
as the light ends, it goes to like point up and shriek you, but it's still not beginning to like reconstitute itself, and you're basically up in its business. Hugo, that's you.
Find out.
Davai, bratan! Am I within 30 feet of Dario? I want to stay within 30 feet of him.
You are.
Sweet, then I'll stay where I am, but I'll cast Spiritual Weapon and throw my Spiritual Weapon, my Spiritual Trowel, right, like,
fucking love that
on the,
thing.
basically, like, with him to hit it. Then I'll use the bonus action to hit with that. So,
Go for it. Spiritual shovel.
17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll get the job done.
With 9 damage.
Oh, okay. yeah, trowel comes out, and there's like some sort of weird flourish where it's like, and it cuts it clean through the middle, opens up, orange flame, pulls it back together, reconstitutes itself, and it goes to point and shriek, but nothing happens because it doesn't understand. Like, you guys can see there's this weird animalistic confusion. It's like, that's not a humanoid, that's a thing, but the thing hurt me, but I don't know what thing is. Do you yell at thing or no? Like, it's there's moments where it's like, you guys are like, oh, it's kind of not clicking to what's happening. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
That's all my stuff.
I mean, just.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to move.
That's all my stuff. Okay. Everyone's playing to their advantages. We like that. Next is going to be the creature. All it can really do is it's going to go for Daria. Daria's right there. Let's see what happens. What have we got here? Everyone except Zeph, I'm going to need you guys to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Thank the heavens.
What are you doing?
You'll find out in a minute.
21.
21.
21 as well.
Nah, I'm not in range.
Oh, no, you're not in
I'm
range.
just moving.
He tried to charm us or anything.
You'll find out. What'd you get?
Oh, I didn't roll because I was like.
Okay, it's not a charm, but I need you to roll a say wisdom.
Oh wait, just that's 20. I don't have any wisdom rolls. I don't think so. I did 12.
So,
Saving throws might be a bit different though. So go back to the first one.
yeah, same those are slightly different ones.
8.
Oh, I got. Never mind.
Do you
That's
want me to
15.
do one for dog as
The
well?
wisdom
Yes,
modifier,
please.
hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what'd you get?
15.
15. Yep.
Saving throws always a bit better.
Good boy.
I know that.
So
15.
15.
21.
Yep. Daria got 15 as well, and Voyage and Dog got
I got 8.
8.
Dog was
You
technically
need it.
19.
Oh shit! Yeah, don't be doing anything. You don't get to talk for us.
Okay. Anyone who got over 13 is going to take half of this. Anyone who got under 13 takes 14 points of piercing damage. Anyone who got over 13, anyone who takes under 13 gets 14 points. Anyone who got over takes half of that, which is 7. 7.
Does my armor mitigate that?
Fuck no! It's a wisdom saving throw, you fool.
But it's piercing damage.
It's psychic damage.
Oh, I thought you said
Basically, what happens
Psychic
is
damage is
a
different.
wisdom saving throw, always psychic damage. It's just the rule of thumb for D&D.
It's giving you a really bad headache.
So you guys see it happen as it points its arms out, and basically as it pulls its arms out, like it almost looks like it's pulling what looks like a cardiovascular system out of its body as these weird tendrils of black and highlights of orange pass through, as it starts, and they shoot out like this huge web 60 feet and catches everyone, and instantly it doesn't even hurt physically, but these little tendrils wrap around your body, and instantly it's like this searing pain in your brain. And those who are strong of mind are kind of able to shake it off quite quickly, but Voyage and Dog, mainly Voyage, I believe, it's a bit more unruly for you, bit disconcerting, uncomfortable, and it levels a little bit. Now, why did I pick the hardest noise to make for this monster? Anyway, you are now also frightened of this creature. That's going to be its turn. It's not smart enough to really think about moving because it's unsure of what's happening, I would dare say. So that is going to go back to the top of initiative, which is going to be Zeph with 0 on deck.
From where Zeph is standing, obviously that's not 60 feet because they didn't get more than that. So I'm gonna make him do a sneaky snake and
I love that.
do like pretty much be in a position where they're kind of hiding behind Zero, sort of thing. But yeah,
Hiding behind. Are you like actually attempting to cut yourself from its sight?
yes,
You can't work behind another creature.
Okay.
Lotus and Halflings can do it. You can't.
I can't do it. Okay.
However, because this map is cut that way for a reason, there are still trees and stuff
Yeah.
around here. I will allow you to make one. Yeah, if you want to make one and basically be on this outside edge,
Yeah.
and you want to be how close if you're trying to make a hit?
So
Because you can only throw, if you're throwing a dagger again, you can only go so far, right?
I can go 60 feet though if I'm hiding.
So I'll say realistic, because this 60 feet is this whole thing.
Yeah.
If you spend 15 feet of your movement and basically move off the precipice of the map, that will allow you to be within 60 feet to throw a dagger.
Alright, I will do that just so I can get in between the spiritual weapon and Daya. Daya,
yeah.
Daya.
I'll say, yeah. Maybe give or take. Yeah, we'll do that.
So roll to sneak first.
Yeah.
Lobbing it over.
Yeah, I feel like it's like Zeph in the bushes, like, just fucking praying that it lands.
So that's a dirty 20 for the sneak.
Okay.
Okay. And then 2 here.
How smart do you think these things are, man?
Dog loves you.
So
How many times can dog do it?
Once every turn.
And he's
Good boy.
max damage twice.
does an 11 hit?
No,
Okay.
but if you're hiding, you attack with advantage. Remember that.
So roll.
I can't stifle. I was like, oh, I can't not do it.
Yeah, so 16 plus 6.
Because if you hide and you attack the creature you're hiding from, you get advantage on that creature alone. So that is
So-
going to do it.
22 to hit. So let's do the boys again.
So 3d6
Yeah.
and the d4, and then you
And
add another 6 because dog spat on the dagger again.
And then another 3 as well on top of it.
And your normal 3 plus, yeah.
So 14.
Not bad at all. It just becomes rudimentary clockwork for you. You just wait for the moment where you can go for the orange, and it's tricky because you're trying to get it in between everyone and not clip Dardia, but you're able to just and you just curve and you're like, it's like when you lean at a bowling alley, you're like, and it just lands in, you're like, oof, and it starts doing the same thing as its accomplice did. It starts trying to separate its attention and figure out who it wants to go for. But because there's so many people around, it's not quite sure what to do. And this time, it's when its face shifts, it becomes one, and you watch as it goes from having angular features like an elf to that of like more rare of a humanoid. And then at one point, it just becomes a blank slate with just that burning orange fire in the middle.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to that of a half like humanoid woman on one side and half like orcish male on the other, trying to reconstitute its form. Is there anything else you want to do, or is that you?
I believe that's me because I moved.
Yep, move, bonus action, attack. Yes, you did. Alrighty. Zero, that's you. Voyage, you're on deck.
Alright, Zero's just gonna position herself whilst the spiritual weapon is sort of swinging around. She's gonna look down her scope.
Straight along the edge.
No, just where the enemy is. She's gonna look down her scope
Oh, yeah.
and just time it perfectly so she's not hitting any ally.
It goes straight over Hugo's head.
Does a 14 hit?
Just.
You also.
Whatever, God, I don't believe in this listening. Thank you.
Daria, you're gonna need to make a dex saving throw. I'm sorry.
So good.
Oh, that's a bit more hefty. That's 17 piercing damage.
And it also needs to make a save, correct?
No, you don't. But
Oh, any creatures around where the
within
White
5
Widow
foot,
hits.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's going to be a DC of. Let me just check. Sorry.
No, you're all good.
So that's a DC 14.
I had a particular image in mind when I thought about the White Widow as a gun.
Dex
I'll send
saving
it to the
throw,
group
DC
chat when we're
14.
done, and you'll see how fucking bad this thing is.
Wait, do I have advantage on dex saving throws?
This happened to you last game here, by the way, where you copped one of these, I think.
I do.
You don't fucking learn.
It's not about learning. It's the fact that you're in range.
Dual fights now.
It's only 3 fire damage.
So now I'm on fire too.
It's like in a video game for like 2 seconds and then the fire just goes out and it's like, ow.
Singed my beautiful silver hair.
It just grows back again.
Like instantly, just
You're all good. Anything else you want to do?
No. She's gonna reload and then get ready for the next round.
Hang on.
Technicality.
No, I'm just making sure. Yeah, you have to reload on your next turn again. Yeah, you're all good. Sorry, I'm trying to remember 100 spinning plates at once.
No worries.
That's what I used to get Jack.
Voyage, that's you. With Daria, you're up next. Yeah.
Remind me how frightened works.
Let me check. It's
You can't move.
a frightened
forwards.
creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight, and you can't willingly move closer to the source of your fear. Cool. No doubt.
Wow. Yeah, no doubt.
Great band.
Right there.
Just two stumps.
You just I have to recast Hail of Thorns after it hits. Yeah.
I believe so. I think Hail of Thorns only lasts for a turn, does it not?
Concentration up to 1 minute.
Concentration up to 1 minute. Oh, so when you took damage last round, you would have had to make a concentration check, which is DC 10 or DC half the damage. So can you just roll a... I see a lot of people say it's basically just a constitution save. So, yeah, I believe DC 10 is DC 10 or half the damage. So yeah, go DC 10. Just roll D10.
D10.
Yeah, 10?
No, that's 18.
Yeah, so you maintain concentration. You're all good. Up to 1 minute, which is 10 rounds of combat. So you're gold.
Cool, so I've still got it.
You still have it, yes.
I missed the first one.
Yep, arrow just goes wide. You're struggling. It's like one of those things where you pull the arrow up, you feel your body guiding it the opposite direction.
I'm still gonna try. No, I'm not. Can I just shoot this?
Same thing, just spin and the arrow just goes wide. You can't land it because this thing right now is just the most horrific thing you've ever seen. The constant shifting of faces, almost passing by like a nightmare. Doesn't feel good, .jpg.
Nah, does not feel good.
Don't feel good at all. Anything else you want to do?
I am sorry, I'm taking so long. Please forgive
It's okay. Everyone here is, I think, playing new classes comparatively to others, so
There's
it's
so much stuff I still have not.
it's okay. It's okay. If you live long enough, we'll live to see it.
Because have you seen me try and add up my dice? Like shit. Yeah. Fucking meth. Not really.
Need to bring you
Dog is not frightened.
Dog is not frightened.
Oh, that's
Because
great.
dog
I can
succeeded.
actually add the numbers together.
I'm gonna command Dog
Okay.
not to perform the help action, but to go in and attack.
Okay. What's dog's
To help
movement?
them.
His movement is 40 feet.
Yep, they'll do it. So galloping in like a small scaly horse, and he runs in and basically just wedges it. I guess around his first. Yeah, we'll say we'll spend it.
You got the idea.
You got the idea. Yeah, he's just on this thing.
Yeah, he's look, he's left. So it'd be a bite attack.
Yep.
Manifest that shit, dog. Come on. No one shouts.
Nat 20.
It's a 19. Damn it.
But
I called
you did that.
powers beyond the grave.
It's a 25.
That'll do it. Roll your damage.
Yeah.
Look at this. Good boy.
7.
It's the oh so gentle pitter patter of the little dice rolling along the tray that gives me the good brain goo.
It's his singular brain cell rolling around in his head.
Clashing against itself on the inside of the cranium. So you watch as this scaly boy full sprint and just leaps, and again, it's the concept of this creature that is both physical and not physical is a wig out, and that's half of the horror of this creature. Yet somehow this dude runs up and just on is like as it's shrieking, just It just runs onto the arm, and it's the dog from Sinbad. Like just hanging onto this thing's arm, and it shrieks louder. And it's like, like it doesn't know what's happened. It's like, fuck, get this thing off. Like this sucks. But yeah, is there anything else? No, we're good. Darty, that's you with Hugo on deck.
Right. Have we figured out what type of creature this is yet?
No, you haven't.
Have we not told us by looking at it?
Nope. You can make a history check and see if you can like, or maybe intelligence. What do you got going on, buddy? History or Arcana, either one of those would work. Or History, Arcana, or Religion. Any one of those three will yield some sort of result, maybe.
Fucking skank. It's a 7.
No, nothing.
Still don't. Okay, fine. I'm just gonna cast my spell anyway and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
So I'm firstly going to cast. Wait, no. Channel Divinity, and I'm going to use Turn Undead on this thing. So let me see where this is. Turn the Unholy. So any fiends or undead that is it a fiend or an undead?
I'm going to tell you right now, it's one of these things where it's like you clasp your holy symbol on your chest and like put your sword up, and a beam of light cracks through the cloud cover, and you watch as the golden silver, like platinum wave blacks out, passes over, nothing happens.
Huh.
You've got your
This was not what I
You've got your
expected.
bonus action or your movement left. Is Channel Divinity? No, Channel Divinity is just an action. Yeah.
It's an action. Yeah.
Bonus action or movement. That's all you got.
Disgusting. Alright, so my bonus action, I'm going to use Sanctuary. Which is bonus action, and I'm going to put it on the doggo. He's in touch. Right?
He's literally right there.
Yeah, I'm going to touch him.
Tail waps past. He's like.
What's up, my boy?
Any creature that now attacks or targets the water creature with an attack or harmful spell must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack.
This is that spell you fucked me with at the end of that one shot we did 2 years ago, where I couldn't nail you guys at all. Like, yeah. So every time it attacks dog, it's got to make a wisdom save.
Yeah. If dog makes an attack, cast a spell that affects an enemy or deals damage to another creature the spell ends.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep. Okay, cool.
Your dog is protected.
And
Yeah.
that's your turn.
And that is my turn. Yes.
Beautiful. Bugle, that's you.
I'm going to move around just a little bit here, just in case there's any AoE shit that could do us damage. Spread us out a bit.
Just a nuclear bomb.
And then I'm going to cast at second level Guiding Bolt again. 13?
13 is its armor class. Oh, thank God.
So at second level, I got 5d6.
I beg your pardon?
So 6, 9, what's that? 14, 20 damage. And next thing gets advantage.
Bugle, slay your quarry.
Well, yeah, with the usual thing, grabs his necklace, quick silent prayer, blasts a bolt forward, but I'll combine it with the fact that I've still got my spiritual weapon out, and as the bolt hits it, he's just gonna like smack down on top with the giant spiritual trowel.
So there's this whole routine as the energy flies out. Dario, you get like that spidey sense where it's like, I'm gonna get down right now. Yeah. And it's one of those things where like the camera pans, catches dog's pupil, the slit goes really thin, dog lets go. As the spiritual trowel comes up, it like picks up some of the dirt, and like the dirt's falling on the creature. It's like, and just with a thunderous and just mushes this thing into dust, and you watch like the black goo that the last one dissipated into just erupts in the air. It's thankfully, because it's a different color, it doesn't look as bad, but man, if that was like 3 shades of red, that would look fucking wild. With like, and it goes up, and the environment settles, the black fog dissipates as combat ends, and you guys are. It feels like it's a breathable place. It's still dark and dank and not nice, but it is comparable comparatively to the path.
Feels like a D&D room.
Yeah. Everyone's able to link back up. What do you want to do?
The fuck was that thing?
While conversation begins to happen, Voyage is like, I'm not looking at the other one, but he's going to go suss out what that was.
Well, your frightened condition ends because the creature's
Yeah.
gone, so you're all good.
But he's just...
I might still be frightened. I don't know yet. You go over and look, and it's this. Again, it's goo. Like it's still like this black ichor, but it's got this weird sheen where it's like sometimes when you circle around it, it passes over and it becomes like clear, and then it's black again. Then it's clear and it's black again. Little bits of smoke hovering on it every now and again. What do you want to do?
Mess kit includes all the equipment one would need to cook while on the go. So I'd like to pick it up in a cooking pot of some variety.
Yeah, for sure.
Not touching it with my hands,
I'm not eating that. No, I'm definitely not eating that.
Zeph's gonna just come up and just be like, hold on a minute, and grab the dagger out and just flick it.
Give it a shake.
Yeah. And then they'll do that to the other one as well.
I'm
Sure.
sorry if it's a bit melted. I saw a dog.
The daggers are fine. Just a little bit of ichor on them. Yeah, it's,
I'm doing essentially the same thing as well. I'm going to go up to this one here and using something from either my herbalism or healer's kit, like a small vial.
last vial, yeah, for
Get
sure.
a little vial of whatever it is.
Yep, for sure. You are able to do that. You guys that collected the goo, can you please roll me intelligence checks? Just to kind of gauge an idea of
Nope.
what you're looking at. Nope. Okay. All right.
Nah,
Both the same thing.
Yep. I got a +0 as well, so.
we don't share a collective brain cell.
The dice are a fickle mistress. Yeah, immediately off the top of your head, not sure what you can do with it, but the fact that it remains kind of feels like it's important. Or it could be useful for something. But you have one vial of black goo, and you also have one pot of black goo.
Is there any more like floating around, like on the ground, or like there's no goo left?
Only from where the two fell, and they both collected the samples.
Like all of it?
Yeah, it's only a small amount.
So I can't eat it.
Can't eat any.
Well, bro, you never met Bill.
I only got a little vial from mine, so it's probably not a whole. There's probably still some over there.
No, that's okay. So, you guys have cleared the threat that was basically trying to coax you in, and you bit the bullet, and then it then bit the bullet. So you're all good.
Fucked around and found out.
A little bit fucked around.
Verbalize that you want to eat some.
Yeah,
I hold the vial out to like offer you a drink of it.
we gotta be good friends. Cody's looking at me like, do you really want to do this? I'm like,
I want to know what this stuff does, so this is as good a way as any to find out.
Daddy's not hold on, let me check my wisdom.
If you, without looking at your stuff right now, do you want to do it or no?
Fuck it.
Con save.
Oh, bro.
While these two fuckheads are jerking each other off, Voyager's going to bring the pot over to you two and be like,
Do you want to eat it?
not so much do you want to eat it, but what do I do
That
with
is a 17.
You're lucky. You spit it back out, it's fucked. You get no effects from it.
Whoa. Okay.
Scoop it
Not
back
as
up
good
into
as I
the
thought.
vial again, what you spit out.
Yeah.
It'll probably just be Zeph because as soon as the other one falls, Zero just quietly returns to the cart just to make sure that the horse and the cart haven't fucked off. So she's just doing that in the background at the moment. So it'd just be Zeph, I dare say.
Give me 1 second.
If you
Horse is a little bit
this way,
toey.
it's clear. But if you turn it this way, it's black. Clear black.
Did anyone else get a major headache at one point there?
little bit of blood running through his nose.
Just a quick question. Herbalism kit, would
From
that
the
have any sort of
damage.
jar?
Hang on, sorry. Say it again.
A herbalism kit, would that have any sort of jar? Is that just like your herbs, your good spice?
I'd allow it. I'd allow you to have like one little vial of empty shit.
Yeah.
You can, yeah.
Brain.
Zeph, when you come over with the goo, is just gonna go into the little sack thing on their hip and just pull out a little vial that's
perfect.
similar and just hold it for voyage,
See the moon.
and then just puts the cork top back on and just. I do want that jar back though.
Yeah, right. Do you know what it is though?
Looks like black.
But if
Iridescent.
look, it's the clear.
You can make a history, arcana, or a religion check if you want to attempt to go into your brain and pull some history.
So that was wisdom, arcana, history,
History, arcana, or religion.
religion. Okay.
Losing my religion.
I love her.
Excellent.
I don't have any identifiers.
So either way, they're all +1, so we'll see. So that's 15.
With arcana or religion.
Pretty much all of them +1. So we'll
But
just
which one you pick
we
determines
will
what answer
go
you get.
arcana.
So with a 15, you get two things from it. The concept of it was the thing that triggered you was the fact that it tried to split itself into several faces and looks like it was taking forms of things, right? Not unlike yourself. In instances where you've looked up, and probably say when you were maybe like a bit younger and you were trying to like get some sort of semblance of like your kind and like where you guys come from and how you interact in real life, it becomes, you realize that there were creatures that sometimes inhabit areas where souls have died and they had no ability to move on because the area was, let me just double check what it is. It's like the mental anguish and suffering of creatures can hang around and infect areas where they fall in. And they literally just call them anguishes. That's what they were. And sometimes these anguishes will take the form of bodies that have had great mental anguish and or had anguish and suffered and died in that area. What you get from your Arcana check is they share some traits with and immunities with semi-corporeal undead, you know, like ghosts, wraiths, or the like, and shadows. If what you get from that is if an anguisher was actually to slay a sapient creature, a new one would actually appear.
Yeah.
So what you get from that immediately is getting rid of them stopped the capability of another one coming.
Okay.
That was all the stuff that killed you.
No, that was a shambling mound. Two different creatures entirely.
We killed that thing.
But yes, an anguisher.
It was unholy.
Share the same traits as it.
Yes, that is Void shaking the shit out of it on occasion.
So pretty much it's just, at this point, it's literally just go and there can be nothing. It's just the remnants of whatever it was, or the anguishes formerly, and all the spirits that it basically took.
You get the sense that someone that works with chemicals, an alchemist, would be the best way to go.
Yeah.
Someone who knows this particular goo can do this and can be turned into this. Someone who knows chemicals, maybe an apothecary of potions, but, you know, like alchemists that do the whole thing where it's like they turn shit into other shit.
Yeah.
That'd probably be a good call.
Yeah.
And where you going? There's a lot.
Cool.
I know that. Anything else anyone wants to do in the clearing before you guys?
How long have we been hanging
Like,
out here, do you reckon?
This would be maybe like 10-15 minutes.
I've cast Prayer of Healing,
Mhm.
and everyone gets 2d8 plus 3.
Ooh.
So anyone that's hurt gets 13 hit points back.
I'm not from home.
Why did I start this campaign at level 5?
Get spicy fast is good.
I'm enjoying it.
Ooh.
13.
Yes, pass it around. Have a look. I'm quite proud of that. 13 points of healing as you guys feel that glowing purple energy go over you like a ringlet, and instantly you feel better. You got a bit more jive in your step. Continue on the rest of the afternoon into the evening. Goes that incident, and you guys are able to stop and make camp again if you would like. I'm assuming that's probably going to be the best option.
Yeah.
Lovely. You're all good. You guys are all able to make camp. Are we going to go with the same watches as before because the elves can stay awake? They basically take shorter to rest, right?
Zero will, yeah.
We'll do that again. Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Perception check, please.
That is 13.
Thankfully, it's actually a bit more lively. Maybe 30, 40 minutes down the path. Seemingly clearing out something that was causing such, for lack of not a pun, anguish and distress in the area. It's creatures feel a bit more comfortable to return and they're a bit more lively. But you sit and relax, guns at the ready, and nothing catches your attention. You're able to go through your hours of watch willy-nilly. No error.
Beautiful. The handover is simply because her trance is a bit different to Daria's, but she has observed him from the night before and seen that he's still quite teetering the edge of alert even when he's sort of meditating. So she simply just says Daria, and then goes goes to meditate herself.
Daria, do you want to roll perception, please?
I do indeed.
Oh,
Does that count? Is it bounced out, or are we going to take that?
I'll let you if it's decent.
No, it's not. Oh, that's a decent one. I just got to
Yep.
Because that first one was not a decent one at all.
When you're alerted and you wake up, immediately, like the same thing, you feel where there's a little bit more life in the area. You're comfortable enough with sitting down. It's like, I'm not even going to put my armor on. I'm quite comfortable that, and immediately right now, everything's pretty good. And the night passes without incident. Everyone is able to get a long rest. Any previous effects are gone. You are at full HP, and the day is ready for yours again.
Carpe diem.
We are now at. I keep closing the calendar.
Level 6.
Shut up. We are now on to the next day, which is Donnersvin. DONNERSVIN. Do I realize I could have sent this to you guys ahead of time because you would know it? Yes. Am I a dickhead? Yes. Am I going to send it after this? Absolutely not.
Make a calendar.
Totally fair enough.
Is this the easiest way for my dyslexic cast brain to learn? Shit, yeah.
Hell yeah, we'll go with that then. Yes, Donnersvin, which I believe is we're now in the 19th day of Svarthrin. Yep. Beautiful. Where are we? Alrighty. Can I please get someone to roll another D10 and D100, please?
Someone up.
Seb's turn.
17.
What did you want to say before that roll? Because you look like you had an idea.
It's okay, I'm gonna hold out.
Are you sure? Because we can say this happens before your trip starts.
Yeah.
No? Alrighty. Well, someone roll a D8.
I want to roll the dice.
Voyage is on it.
4.
Walking along the path, we'll say, well, at this point, you're going into the third day. According to Hugel's map, you are coming close onto the town of Sindrafen. As you move along, make perception. Anyone who wants to, make a perception check.
20.
I got 2 at once then.
Sorry.
18.
First set.
20.
20.
4. 12 and 10.
Lovely. 0 and Hugel. As you guys are kind of scoping out, it's a sound that's artificial to the landscape, so it kind of snaps you back into hyperfixation. And it's jingling. It's jingling of metal on wood and other like trinkets and it kind of snaps you back in. And as you guys look, like I would assume Hugel on the car would look behind you, and Zero, you would look forward. You see it first. It's going into the like midday-ish, going into like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a cart, this like another cart, but this one's like a merchant's cart. Like it almost looks like a rickshaw because it's got 4 wheels, but they're close together. But the top of the cart is, for lack of a scientific term, it's fucking abnormal. Like it goes like this weird. It's real big, but it's got like a little roof on. It's got like little windows, hanging lanterns, and you see like weird trinkets and like there's so much going on. Like I can't even describe them to you right now until you're going to have a close look. But you see, it's getting pulled along by a bit of a honky, chunky mule, and you see someone's walking it. Humanoid, bit hunched over, like tallish but hunched. Walking along, long black coat, bit of a bolt, like a long boater hat, kind of. But they're coming up on you as you're going, and immediately they haven't noticed you. But you get it's like might be like traveler, maybe a merchant because the amount of shit that's on the cart, like that sort of stuff. But they're coming up basically at the point where you kind of start seeing what's on there. They're passing your left as you're passing their right.
Did it look like the car can sit more than 2 people? Reach for the sky. I'm joking.
I'm
No, I'm not allowed that to happen. That's not happening.
You don't even know what's happening, right?
Yeah, you're not even. Well, by this point, Albert, you guys see it first. It basically gave you preemptive to like if you want to do something.
No.
But
Digest.
it comes up, and if you guys are just walking past, but you see there's a lot of there's 3 or 4 lanterns roped on every corner, and they're all of different designs. One is heavy brass, one is black iron, one is gold maybe, but a bit dirty, and they're not lit because the sun's still out enough where you can see. And like I said, the mule is honky tonky, big belly, stubby little legs, no neck, have an ass, mohawk fucking hair. And the cart, around the cart, there's the window pane. There's window panes on it. Like it looks like it fit maybe 2 or 3 people if they were sitting like kind of crammed into it, but it sounds like it's full and there's a lot of shit in there. And the window panes, the front window is a circular window and it's like nice, that sheeted red, like stained glass. And the one on the side, which is the left-hand side as you're passing, one half is like a diamond and the other half is like a square, and they've just kind of like been cramped together in the middle to like make it fit. And you can see where there's like big different bits of timber. Some of it's ashen oak, some of it's just normal dark oak, some of it's redwood. It's like this thing's like either taken damage or it's been cobbled together for some reason. And you find the gentleman walks past, notices. Would you be trying to stealthily look, or are you just like, what the fuck is this thing? Like, what is
She's just staring.
Hugo's like a little kid looking out the window of the car. Absolutely fascinated. Probably actually sketching down the different
shapes and
like,
things?
the
Yeah.
different lanterns.
The cart stops.
I can't help but notice you looking at my card, traveler. What can I do for you? Are you interested?
You're a traveling merchant of some kind?
What is this?
Oh, merchant would be the word. Maybe. Depends what you're buying.
What selling?
Oh, well, it depends on what you're looking at.
And you find it's because the gentleman who was leading the mule was on the right-hand side. So, like, he's hunched over. And he comes around, and you realize as he comes around, he's hunched. And then he stops being hunched. And he stands tall, taller than you.
Smash!
Maybe about 6.9 feet, maybe nearly 10 feet, tall, slender, skin as white as a ghost. But when he tips his hat up, you see just a long, happy smile, angular face, almost looks elven, but freakishly so. And as the brow dips up, you realize his eyes are as deep as black as yours as he looks down on you and tips his hat.
Well, a pretty lady like yourself, would you like to browse my wares?
Stranger danger. Did you just adjust your eyebrows?
Maybe. We don't know that for sure.
Is even with like the sort of overstretched smile, am I able to determine his race?
You can try.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a crack. Is there anything particular you'd like me to roll, or just like an insight or something?
You tell me what you want to roll, and I'll tell you what it is.
I'm
Damn
gonna
cop
do
like he's a
an
vampire.
insight because I've got
Insight? Yeah, sure.
advantage on that. So the first one's gonna be a 23. Yeah, we'll go with 23.
Sort of fucking parents.
Normally, with insight, trying to discern something from a person, they would roll a deception check if they want to try and mask something.
Fair enough.
You find that this slender gentleman does nothing of the like. Looking at his face and the way he acts, but mainly just like the features of his face and skin, bears a lot of similarity to someone immediately in your vicinity, but differently so. But he looks, and you find he realizes that you're staring a bit hard, and he goes,
I'm sorry, my dear, I'm not for sale.
I like him.
I like
"Browse my wares!" And he like one long arm and pulls the heart open.
I love this guy!
And there's like a whole bunch of like just, for lack of a scientific term, shit just comes out. Bro, fucking weird trinket things. There's a fucking dead bird nailed to the bottom of a bird cage but held up on like armature wire. There's shrunk and skinned pixies in fucking photo frames, panes of glass. Very weird. And like that's just on first glance. But there's a lot of things here. And you find long arms kind of crawls in, has a look. And he's like,
Oh, I have many things in here. What do you need? Do you need Wing of Pixie? Do you need Eye of New? It's a bit of a classic, but it's been overdone. Don't you think? Oh my god, what do you need?
and like the eyes are like bugging a little bit, but just big black eyes under this huge brimmed hat.
Two things. First, do you deal with guns? It's okay if the answer is no.
What?
Never mind. Second thing. And she takes off her red shades. Do you have shades that are not just shades? I'm feeling like a little more pizzazz.
Like those rave glasses.
I'll be right back.
And you find his arms go over his head and he backwards rolls into his car and he's just gone for a moment. Make perception checks for me, anyone that's immediately in the area.
10.
13.
What'd you get, baby boy?
4 and an 11. Voyage sees Jackal.
What'd you roll?
Oh, my apologies. I wrongly assumed that. That is a 22.
He shouldn't be able to fit in that cart, but somehow he does.
Jinx.
Let me... I'm just looking through some stuff here. I'm going to roll...
Hag salesman.
I'm just trying to find what I had in...
You shake it all out.
Fuck off. Fuck
So
off.
many twos.
Fuck off. It's been my number recently and I don't know why.
It's probably not being so.
That's 3 twos as well. Fucking two.
Okay, so you find he comes out, and with that, he's got 3, like, I want to say case, but bags, basically. And he goes,
I've collected a few of these over my trips. I guess if you were looking for swimming goggles or anything of the sort. But what do you want? What do you need from them?
I would like shades like this. I like the red lens. It completes the look. But perhaps do you have anything that might offer a little bit of fancy dancy doodah magic on them? I don't know how you people do these things. An enchantment, I think perhaps it may be called.
and like Hunt goes down and goes through the bags. Oh, and finally you pick up, like, one comes out and it almost looks like it's made of, like, crystalline and it's like glass. And it goes, no, not that. Breaks in the back of the car.
Yes, okay. I think this will do.
And you find he pulls out one, and they're like, it's like a leather strap, and one has like a telescopic piece and one has like a runic circular bit, and he pulls it out and he goes,
I think this isn't really a bit your style, but I'm sure if you take it to a a smith or a craftsman of some sort, they might be able to change it if you need something a little bit more stylish.
How much?
How much you got?
How much I got? 2 copper pieces. She's
My dear.
well.
My dear, you are beautiful, but not that beautiful.
Then tell me how much.
Make a persuasion check real quick.
That's okay. Not that my charisma's great, but we'll give it a cold hard crack. That is an 11.
Look, I go to a lot of places. I'm not really from here. I'm sure you can tell. For you, 600 gold pieces and you can have it.
Oh, fuck me. I just laughs. Ha ha ha! Давай!
Can I ask you, how many travelers do you come across on the road do you find just happen to have 600 gold pieces in their pockets?
You'd be surprised.
I think I would.
I'm not fighting people.
How about...
No.
Nobody said anything about fighting.
I'm fucking crazy.
You have no idea.
Yeah, like, I'm crazier than you.
What about an IOU?
Make a persuasion check.
Let's go with this.
He's going with insight, so he's gonna. You know, I'm not gonna roll them either.
Oh, that's only a 9. She's being genuine though.
Two long fingers against his angled chin with his long ears.
She's fully convinced she's gonna meet this man again and give him more money.
I hope to God we meet this man.
Me too.
I can always abide by a deal. What do you have on offer? What can you do for me?
Oh, that's easy. The same job I always offer to everyone.
Don't think dirty thoughts. A businessman.
While this is going on, can I roll something to see if Hugo would know anything about hags?
You can roll that. Let me know in a moment.
A deal. Just what would I be rolling?
Arcana.
Doesn't
or religion?
matter.
No.
It's only a 6.
The same thing I always offer for a job. I kill things, I kill people.
I suppose you think you're quite good at it.
Oh, I don't think. I know.
Cranes his head to you because you're being a smart ass.
You think she's quite good at it?
Yes. Oh, wait! I do have something I can bargain with. She pulls out the raven she blasted a hole in the other day.
That's been plucked clean.
And that's been plucked clean and hands it over.
600 gold for a dead bird.
Excellent. No fucking chance.
What did he say?
No fucking chance.
I've wanted my birds back.
I can still get it for you if you like.
It's her bird.
No, you keep it.
Yeah.
I like deals.
It's a fucking fair deal.
I may have something.
But this time, back leg goes into the car and then just disappears again. But this time it's silence. There's no rummaging this time. Make an insight check.
There you go. That is, wait, we're going to range on
Yep.
that. No, we'll go with the first one, so that's a dirty 20.
With a dirty 20. Someone who has that much crap in a small space, if they don't make a sound, you know they've beelined for something. They know exactly where it is. He comes back out and he's got a little tiny gold ring for your hand, it's perfect size, right? But in his like elongated fingers, it's very odd. I just realized this kind of sounds like the Nightmare King from Critical Role. I totally didn't mean for this to happen. Fuck off. I was thinking of Slender Man, except he has a face.
That's what I've been picturing.
Fuck!
I've been picturing
Good.
Elvish Slender Man.
I'm going to draw the picture. You'll get one in a week. But he comes out with this ring and he goes, if you take this, you'll be mine until I feel the deal is satisfactory. I can call upon you whenever I want. You'll get some benefits.
It's not the first time I've worn a ring on my finger. And she presents.
Wow. First of all, how dare you? I'm going to peel back behind the veil, behind the DM screen here. What's happening here? If you take this, you alone will go up one level in Warlock with a Pax to the Archfey. That's what he's offering.
I like it, so I'm gonna put a ring on it.
You find ever so gently slips it on. It's a little bit big, but like that scene from Lord of the Rings where the one ring shrinks and fits, almost like it's not there. Make a charisma save for me, please.
Inventory.
Is nobody else concerned here? Or
Do you have to cast your thing to be able to tell when there's fey around?
Actually.
He has to cast it, it's not automatic.
That is a 6.
He's like, my spidey sense is going fucking ham right now, bro.
Hang on. You take 20 points of psychic damage as the deal you have just struck has just really knocked your body for a 6. You guys watch as Zero's entire body stiffens up, and you find in the entire thing, he never lets go of her hand while your body seizes. And then there's an out-of-body experience is a weird thing, right? Because it's depicted as you're looking down on your body like you're the player of a video game and you witness it. And your vision pulls out for a minute and you watch as you see yourself, you see the Slender Man, you see your compatriots that you're traveling with, and everything reeling in. I can't fucking believe you fell for this, you absolute fool. I can't believe this.
It's like a little doll that I can just smash on things.
You get visions. Not in this moment. You get visions because you've accepted this deal, a landscape that you've never seen before. Forests as endless as time memoriam ever. You see webs as thick as like draft horse ropes going between trees. Spiders that aren't spiders, but they are at the same time. You see more folk that look like Zeph. You see another gentleman or another creature that looks like the Slender Gentleman. And just this weird rushing of debt, but also power from that debt as you've, for some reason, accepted a deal from the first two that put another ring on your finger.
Slow learner, right?
And the last...
Says you.
And the last thing that happens is you see Sal's face as you snap back into reality. Blood coming from your nose, your ears, as the capillaries in your head have just burst, and you guys watch. And
how quick does that happen from our perspective?
Like instantaneous. Instantly, the second the ring shrunk and sealed, leaking.
He just stands up on the edge of the cart, sacred flame to his hand. The fuck did you just do?
Nothing you didn't already want. Sit down. And he finally pulls his hands back, and without looking, arms, you're expecting a crack where joints would dislocate, and they don't happen, then just closes the thing behind him. I think that's enough for today.
Can I protect her? No, it's a bit late, isn't it? She's already got
Nothing bad's happening as far as you're aware. For you guys, it's a fraction of a second instantaneous.
Just see that his nose fucking starts
Just
bleeding.
like-
Like something just happened. I'm just
Call the
wary
doctor.
as fuck.
I'm the doctor.
Who are you? What's your name?
I'm just passing through. Well, unless anyone else wants anything, I think I'll be on my way.
I want to try.
What's up, boy?
2 things.
See?
Favorite enemy, does that tick off when a favorite enemy is nearby?
I believe the wording of favored enemy is you just get particular mechanical advantages against them.
Yeah.
If I do believe... Yeah, I believe favored enemies, you just get some buffs against them. I will quickly look at... Pardon me, I'll quickly look it up. Because I
It
believe...
doesn't state anything along the lines of that. I just wanted to know.
No, I believe favored enemy, it's just got something to do with, like, you have advantage
on survival checks.
and tracking them, I think.
As well as int checks to recall information about them.
Yes.
And one language of choice spoken.
Yes.
Yep. Then no.
That's it.
That's it.
But you find he stands, arms still backwards, holding the cart shut. No takers.
He was just staring and holding the sacred flame, like
My God warned me about people like you.
uncomfortable.
Well,
Yet.
Yet, yet, yet.
my love,
Yet, yet, yet.
I'll be seeing you soon. Steps over the donkey and then hunches back in on himself to that small form and begins to walk. As you guys are sat in the middle of the road, wondering
What the fuck does that
what
mean?
just happened,
Everyone just look at you like,
and that's where we'll end our session.
good ending.
You may now take a level in Warlock, but your pact must be to the Archfey.
Delicious.
I can't believe you bid it.
I will always buy. Always.
That's what I was hoping would happen with the fucking liquid I drank. Not with the stranger she meets in a car.
Incredible, incredible. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I really didn't think you would bite that quickly. It's actually quite concerning. I now have judgments against you as a person, and I love you very much. But before we wrap up tonight's session, so we can all go have a smoke break and go home, does anyone have anything they want to plug?
All caffeine, no talent. Enough said.
Yeah, boy! Come on, Sebby, we know
Yeah,
you've got
jump
one.
over and check out Step Make stuff for a heap of D&D and miniature related builds on YouTube.
Hell yeah, a lot of the stuff on the board was made by Seb. The modular grass and some of the trees were stuff that Sebby printed out for us. It's very good. We like it very much. Yep. Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. You can follow us on Tomes and Tales RPG on Facebook and Tomes and Tales RPG on Instagram. We're also on TikTok, Tomes and Tales RPG. We're uploading highlight reels and, you know, funny audio excerpts and all that sort of stuff. It's good fun. But really, other than that, I don't think I've got anything really to plug right now. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time between the pages. Ooh.
Ooh.